ahoy and good day once again to ye mateys! I be Josh the Pirate, and I be your freshly vaccinated DM, and it brings me a bounty of pleasure to welcome you once again to Corsair's Cove, and Ep4 of my new story in my Humblewood world of monsters and magic. Above me I have my hearty crew, the charming Nikolai Kravchenko, the cogent Karen Schlink, and the crazy Brendan Ellis. Unfortunately, the really rather cute and cuddly Josh Towns has come down with a rather nasty bout of knee surgery, and therefore won't be joining us tonight. So, never mind. Let's talk about these wonderful people. Let's start with Karen. Let's go in the middle. Karen,
okay.
Tell me who the heck you are and where we can find you. I'm just gonna... There we go. That's not helpful at all. There we are. Yes, please talk about yourself.
No, I'm just gonna watch you awkwardly adjust in your
No, I was. It's just because I can hear me through your microphone. Because we are about 6 meters away from each other.
Okay.
No, don't pull the curtain. No.
We're both in forests. Different forests.
Hello, I am Karen Slink in my own house with no one in it. Haha. Except that Robert who's probably crawling through the back window I left open right about now. Have fun stealing my not valuable shit. I am Mother of Buddies in chat and over on Twitter if you want to come and follow me. In the tweetverse, not the real world. Please don't climb in through my window. That would be weird.
Yeah, it would.
You can also hear my lovely voice in the D&D podcast, There Be Dragons. Ep31 was released recently and does contain jokes about a bag of holding dicks. So enjoy that sweet highbrow content we're putting out. You can also catch me in the wonderful regional space of Geraldton, WA on the 30th of October for the Perth International Burlesque Festival. I will be part of their roadshow in Geraldton, which is going to be exciting. And I think that was everything I had to talk about at the moment. I haven't had a lot of sleep. Good times. Woo!
Damn it. Spina, you stay out of my house. Damior, nice to see you. And Stormfell, thanks for the follow. Good to see you, buddy. Yes, welcome to Corsair's Cove. We are, at this moment, because of Stormfell, 4 followers away from 100. I would love to hit that number. We also broke all of the things we need to do for affiliate. So it's coming. I just need to sign all the documents. So yes, keep your eyes peeled on this space. There will be emotes and affiliate and subs and so forth. We'd love to have you back. Next week, we will be affiliate and you can sub. That would be great. Anyway, let's talk about Brendan. Everybody, let's talk about Brendan. Generally, isn't he pretty? Yes. It was Brendan's birthday on Monday, and it was Karen's birthday on Tuesday, and at the end of the stream, we'll sing happy birthday to them. And by we, I mean Nikolai and I.
The most awkward thing in existence.
No, we'll sing, and then Brendan and I will awkwardly say each other's names.
Yes.
Happy birthday, dear.
Yes.
It will be great.
Yeah, let's do that.
And we'll use the stream for our timing. So we know
it would be horribly out. Yeah. Anyway, Brendan, tell me who you are and where we can find you.
I'm Brendan. I was born, as you may have inferred. I was recently in a show, Murder Mystery. If you missed it, then sucked in. It was very great. You might see me at LARP. If you're going to a LARP this weekend, you'll know which one. Then you might see me there. That's cool too. I'm a nerd and an actor and a director. And I was born, just a reminder.
I can confirm he was born. I know his mum. All right. Let's talk about Nikolai. How is your mum? I haven't seen her in ages.
All the mum jokes just blossomed in my brain and I just
Thank you.
GM's Workshop is raiding with a party of 16. Welcome, GM Workshop. Raid emotes in chat, everybody. Hi, GM's Workshop. Thank you for the raid once again. Always a pleasure to have you. We're just doing our introductions. You've caught us right at the very beginning of our stream. Excellent. Well done. Nicely done. We're 4 followers away from 100, so a couple of people throwing up that follow would be... we've already got another one. We've got Roverjax. Roveljax. Welcome, Roveljax. Thank you very much for the follow. Yes, a pleasure to have you. Nikolai, tell us about yourself. Follower goal met 100!
Hey!
Freaking nailed it. Hazion. It's very, very small. But thank you so much, guys, for the followers. Yes, Karen is going to write everybody who follows this evening a shitty limerick.
Whoa, calm down.
No,
Maybe
it's
you
there
run
now.
up to like 10 people?
Sure, I will help. Nikolai, tell us about who you are.
Hi, I'm Nikolai. I have not had a birthday this week. I assume I was born at one point, but I don't know when. I'm a nerd that kind of exists between here, Corsair's Cove, and Roll for Damage. So just follow me at one of those streams. I'll be there.
I just discovered I can open the door with my back scratcher, so the dog can get out. It's a good piece of information to possess, because now I don't have to stand up. Hi, everybody. Yes, thank you. Marvelous. I should be doing that, hey, shouldn't I? Let's type in Karen, so you can find her. And let's type in Brendan, so we can find them.
Josh.
And then we can type
Don't
in
just
me.
sit there.
I'm Josh the Pirate. I'm an artist and creative in Perth, WA. You can find me on Monday nights over on Roll for Damage, where I DM the Humblewood, and on Thursday nights here. And you've done so. Well done. Good job. Keep doing that. Where I also DM the Humblewood. If you want more of my face and voice, then you can check out Paparotica in Fringe World at Perth, which will be we will be in January next year. We're not allowed to say exactly where I went because we're actually under embargo, but we are allowed to talk about it happening because it will. And then if you want more of my voice, but you think I could stand to tone the face down a bit, you can check out my podcast. I am a part of the There Be Dragons podcast. We are a 5e D&D podcast in a fantasy gunpowder setting where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Skern Felspar and his little dragon Rush. You can also find the Mother of Bunnies there as the friendly neighborhood dragonborn Ryland Westfall. Well, I must also remind our rakish, virile, and understatedly sexy audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all of our things. We have all the socials.
And I'll be putting these limericks on Twitter. So.
And we will
Well,
slap.
who am I kidding? I'll put them on all the streams. I love the attention.
Yes. And we will be getting our Discord up and running very soon. Splendid. Well, excellent. Hate to raid and scoot. No, thank you, GM's Workshop. Pleasure to have you again. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah, we don't have a Discord yet, Spino. It's coming. It's coming. Bear with me. All right. I just have many things.
Just before we start, I saw that Carl256 asked earlier what part of Humblewood we are on. So do you want to talk a little bit about
Yes.
that?
Well, we should actually, yes, I should clarify. So, Carl, this is post the campaign that comes in the book 1 of Humblewood. Book 1 of Humblewood we have run over on Roll for Damage. And so that was the first 3 seasons just about of, the first 2 and a bit seasons of Roll for Damage is Humblewood. This is picking up the story of the world after that. The original crew over on Roll for Damage is proceeding with that story and their storylines, their own plot arcs in that world. But this is a second crew involving a couple of NPC, well, one NPC from the original game, and then a new party built around that NPC going off to do new stuff. So Kesh and Arthur are members of the Wildwood Brigade. Ereq is a tender, and Javier, who is not joining us this evening, unfortunately, is an avium-trained cleric. So they're all related to the original plot, and Kesh was a fairly major NPC in it. But they are now being sent off by the Alderheart Council on a monster hunting mission, basically. There's a bunch of extra elementals that survived the final battle to defeat the aspect of fire, and these guys are hunting them down because they're causing problems. Humblewood is a really good... it's a really, really well-made piece of content. The Deck of Many did an amazing thing. Good evening, Roll for Damage. Welcome. And yeah, if you want more of this crew with me as the DM, this world with me as the DM but a different crew, check out Roll for Damage on Monday nights. Humblewood will be on over there with a different crew. But for now, who would like to give us a recap of what happened last week? It was Brendan did it last.
Close? We were so close to getting Josh to do the recap himself for
Nah.
last week.
Not a chance. Yeah, you guys are going to do it. And it's not Brendan this time because it's his birthday. I think it's Nikolai because it's not his birthday this week.
It is not my birthday. And I have a somewhat functioning memory. All right.
Ooh.
So last week, right, we were at the Hot Springs where we heard that there was a sighting of a fire elemental. So, dipped down underneath the pools, found that there was a cavern. Whole group went down there. We found a bag of sultanas, which was a mystery to us, but we carried on because further inwards there was a perfectly shaped circular cavern with like a waterfall and a bonfire working in like perfect symbiosis to cancel each other's magic out. And around that sort of spectacle was a fire elemental who was seemingly wounded with a steam method. Now, my plan was just probably kill it because that's the safest option, but we decided to go with a gentler route and just ended up conversing in a way with it. It wanted to go home, back to the fire elemental plane, and couldn't do so with the waterfall still trampling all on the bonfire. So we helped it out with a jury-rigged shield on a stick sort of situation. We learned its name, which I have forgotten, but Arthur's probably remembered.
Morwenshi.
And so they've slipped on through, but it does mean that the fire elementals are a lot more intelligent than we knew of and have some semblance of free will now that their leader's gone. So we nipped on out of there and had a bit of a chat discussing our feelings towards the fire elementals. And Ereq also displayed a bit of fire elemental magic with a familiar that's sort of like a phoenix. So we had a bit of a chat about that, and I don't remember where we left off. We kind of...
Oh, that would be a great place for us to leave off. Does God want to add anything else before we launch into the roleplay again?
I don't think so. You'd settled down for the night. You'd had a chat about Ereq's face-dwelling elemental buddy, and Javier had determined that the water in the pond was a little bit magical and a little bit healy, and most of you had benefited a little bit from having a bath in it, essentially. So he'd gotten a potion of healing from it, essentially, and it basically expended its magical powers for the day in doing so. Arthur, to answer Seram's question, yes, Arthur's people do very much still live in England. London is roundabout where most of them do still speak like that. East End of London, they do still very much. Yes, you go into an East End of London pub after about 10 at night, yeah, you'll hear a lot of people sound like that.
I got the elbow.
The cockney elbow going, yeah, the cigarette. I tell you what, me old mucker, tell you what. Yeah.
Don't get on to dog and bone, right?
Anyway, yes, so we'll pick it up right where we left off, unless you guys want to go straight to sleep. Mateys, may your antlers remain firmly attached to your head, and all your iron pots not be reduced to molten slag, as we head, tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion, into the Humblewood. So yeah, you are hanging out at the hot springs, and it's very calm and peaceful and lovely, and you've just encountered an elemental, and it's the evening. Do you want to do anything, say anything, be anything, or do you want to just have a long rest?
I'm going to ask the elemental to go back in my body, and one feather, the same feather on my cheek, will gradually kind of fill up with red and just be a red feather again. This is obvious, but I do need to ask that you all keep the confidence of my situation, at least for now, and particularly with our employers. I don't imagine they would be too happy to know what is going on with me right now.
Are you sure?
Javier will happily keep this secret.
Happily? I'll remind you of that later, that you happily agreed.
I mean, I don't really trust the council, so I figured the less they know, I'm not too fussed.
Well, the council do love, everyone except the person involved knowing what's going on. So I think we should flip that around and make sure all of us know what's going on, but they don't.
Okay.
It's bound to be amusing at some point.
Thank you.
Gonna have a killer punchline.
Well, we're working the long gag in for this one.
Hey, Ereq, does that itch? Because you do have something living in you.
Well, I mean, Arthur, you have feathers too, right?
I mean, yeah, but mine don't have fire elementals kind of
Hanging out in them.
I mean, I guess I'm starting to realize that it's affecting the way that I feel temperatures. I seem to handle the heat a bit better. I don't know if that's only when it's in my feather or not, but I feel warm.
Can you feel it?
Yes.
As in, can you feel it inside you? Does it speak to you in your mind?
It hasn't yet. I suppose I do feel something of a presence. These are very almost philosophical questions, which I'm not sure.
It is dark. We are sitting out under the stars. We are having a nice time. We are friends.
It's a good time to be philosophical. Okay,
Yes.
let us examine it this way, Ereq. To give you another angle, does it feel to you rather like, say, a wing would feel?
Like an extension of my
Like
body.
part of you, you're aware of it, but not in a way that feels unnatural or odd.
I think so, yes. Even when it's out, it just feels like an extension of myself. I don't know what kind of distance I can get with it, but I can feel that we're bonded. When it is out, it's not a separate entity, and that scares me a little.
Yeah, most people's wings don't turn into fire beasts and, have opinions. Well, my legs have opinions, but it's not up to them.
So, this is the first time any of you have travelled together, really, particularly in a small group. What does the campsite look like? What's the sort of you're just beginning to sort of settle into a ritual, into a routine? Who does what? I think Kesh said last week that she was doing the cooking, or at least I think Ereq started the fire, and Kesh has the iron pot. And so it was Kesh had started. I think that was it. Kesh had started gathering up sticks and so forth for a fire, and then Ereq lit it. But beyond that, we didn't really establish. So, is there somebody who particularly takes charge of the food preparation, or what goes on?
I imagine Kesh is quite an organised traveller. She's done a lot of it. She's got all her stuff laid out. She's got her little sachet of herbs to make her, forest stew taste less like ass.
Arthur, meanwhile, just has all of his mess kit just splattered on the ground everywhere with the bedroll rolled out. And he's getting sharp sticks and just placing them into ground to make a really shitty fortification.
Putting defensive stakes around himself. Very well. Ereq.
I think that Ereq would be used to roughing it. I don't know what kind of setup the tenders have around the scorched grove, but that would be where he spends most of his time. So probably wouldn't be out of the ordinary for him to just be kind of sleeping in a whatever the thing is called.
Tent, hoochie,
Mid-roll?
Yeah,
Swag?
Like
swag.
swag YOLO was the word that I was after. Yeah, like a swag or like just a bedroll or something under the stars, and gathering his own like berries and nuts and things.
You know, despite being an Australian, I've never used a swag.
Neither.
Mm.
I have used a hoochie though.
So I say swag. I actually have no concept of what it would be like to sleep.
It's easy. You just start with a hashtag, and then you end with a YOLO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have 32 swag. I saw that and I assume it was a joke. But yeah, I imagine Kesh is like throwing a bunch of stuff into the pot and like giving it a stir to heat it up.
Cool.
She didn't make anything fancy, but it's warm and it'll fill you up.
And Kesh is a reasonably competent hunter and woodsman as well. So, or woodswoman. That's fun to say. So yeah, she could. So I'd certainly say she did a spot of hunting along the way. Welcome, Jason Nerd. Welcome, Wheat Belt. Thank you for joining us this evening. Yes. Alrighty. So you have a good night's sleep. You actually have an incredibly good night's sleep. You all you all wake up. Let's say.
Can I just say quickly, you know that you're having a really good roleplay session when you have a good night's sleep? That's the true fantasy.
Like roll a d20 and see how hideous your nightmares are.
Well, this actually, Omi, can you roll me 1d4 in chat? ! Roll space 4 in chat, please.
Well, here it comes. One of us is going to dream that our feet fell off.
Woods person. Yeah, exactly.
What does it say about me that one of my recent, like, I don't have nightmares super often, but a recurring one I've had more than once is that I didn't actually finish my degree and I have to go back and do a couple more units to finish my
That was
course.
This morning. Wow, 4.
Like, no!
That's good.
That sounds relatable, Karen. Terrible.
So from your good night's sleep, you actually all gain 4 temporary hit points
Woohoo!
that last until you expend them.
Oh.
Not just
So
tomorrow, no time limit.
Well, I look forward to getting smacked about a bit and losing those bad boys. I imagine like Kesh is like one of those hideous morning people who just wakes up and is immediately like, right, let's go. And like packs all this stuff up, has it all like neatly folded and back in the thing. And he's like dialing up cold, like last night's dinner for breakfast, like washing her face in the spring. And is like, oh, it's a glorious morning.
You know what? I actually think that Ereq is a morning person as well.
Yeah, right. I think he would be. That seems right. I don't think Arthur is.
Why are you like this? Why is there so much noise?
That's the birds, Arthur.
It's meant to be peaceful. It's not.
Yes. I think Arthur is like me. He wakes up and goes like, you know, is it just me or is that cockroach shuffling too loudly? Yeah. That is a valid point, and I didn't mention it before. Wheatbelt asks a very valid question. Our art was was commissioned from the amazing Daria Yevdanova, who is a player over on Eldritch Scribe, and I butchered her name, and I probably did it again. I tried my level best, Daria. You can find her on Eldritch Scribe. She is one of the players over there. She's also, as you guys can see, an incredibly gifted artist. Welcome, Nerds of the West! Thank you for the raid! Oh my goodness, we're popular this evening. Thank you so much, Raiders. We've picked up a few followers this evening. We topped 100. Karen is writing a saucy limerick about everybody who follows us this evening. If you guys want a fancy saucy limerick, follow us on our socials, and you will get to see them when she writes them.
Let's get
Karen,
to 200. Let's go.
Yeah,
No,
let's crank
I'm
it.
not writing 100.
Crank it. I will help. If we get to 200 followers this evening, I will help. All right.
I'll be saucy as well. I literally was just writing one about scones, so I don't know if that's saucy.
It can be saucy. I'm very aroused by scones. All right, let's carry on. So, Yeah, we've established who is a morning person and who is not. I'm not going to speak for Josh about whether Javier is or is not a morning person. I feel like not.
Dawn throat singing.
Yeah, that's true. He welcomed the dawn in with like, and I am dry. He probably had an early swim.
People to follow the channel.
Let's do it. Let's do it, Spina. Bring it on.
Someone goes, makes 900 bot accounts, ruins my week. You know.
Yes. Excellent. Splendid. Well, nerds, I hope you had a lovely stream. Yeah, pleasure to have you. I believe it's is it a Beck night tonight? I think it's a Beck night tonight. Might be a Reese. Anyway, so next, over the course of the next couple of days, it's going to take you a couple of days to get to where you're going. From here, I'm presuming you are going to head on to the next elemental rather than go back to Alderheart to report your findings.
We don't really have a report to give. We didn't kill it. We kind of just
but you're not
leave.
And the valid question, are you planning on telling them that you didn't kill it?
Kesh is going to find a way to word it that's not an explicit lie, but definitely isn't the fucking truth.
The fire elemental is gone.
It is.
Yeah.
It is gone.
No longer a threat.
I can lie.
And this is definitely one of the glowing rocks from that one, and not the other one we killed.
Well, they didn't ask us for evidence from the first.
They
so...
didn't. So we've got a window here to.
Yeah.
To do a very convincing lie, and
functionally you did exactly what they asked, and you didn't have to murder a thing to do it. So great, yeah.
You know, any solution that does involve murder should probably be
at least explored. Absolutely.
So
in
exactly.
the chat, we encountered the fire elemental, and thus it is no longer in the area.
It seems like an awfully complicated way to say we killed it. Oh yes, well, we did that.
It's definitely not there anymore.
Exactly.
It's gone.
It is gone.
Alrighty. Kesh. Oh, sorry.
Captain, where is this place that we're going?
Let Karen quickly consult her notes. Because I did write down the third place.
This is the village of
wrong campaign.
Crestmarch.
Yes, we're going to the village of Hotmarsh. Presumably...
Crestmarch. Crestmarch.
Why did I write down Hotmarsh? I was clearly getting confused.
Hotmarch now, probably.
It's the Hot March is sort of where you're at, but it's really just a pond, not a marsh. March, as in what soldiers do. Crestmarch. Crest being the mountains in the northeast of Humblewood.
Yes, we're heading to Crestmarsh.
March.
March.
Yes.
Okay. I really misheard that when you laid it down.
There's no marshes in the mountains.
Sorry.
Got an E on the end of it, so it's pronounced marsh.
Yeah.
Marche, actually.
Crestmarche, yes.
Crestmarche.
It's actually, it was founded by a bunch of Viking accented people, so I don't know how they pronounce that.
Hotmarsh.
No.
Hotmarsh is a holiday retreat
Yes.
for map hatchers. You can get a good mud bath out there. But
Yep.
we are going to Crestmarch, a place that I imagine Kesh has been there before.
Yep. Arthur has also been there before.
Yes, we are familiar with this place. We have been there before, so I imagine.
Great. Tell me a lot about it. Everything you know.
What do I know? Oh well, Kesh will spend the trip kind of priming you on what its place.
Small village, mining settlement. Primary industries were mining and sheep herding.
Due to kind of all the fighting and stuff, and the whole lot of dead humble folk that we kind of unfortunately ended up with, there's not a lot of patrols around Crestmarch anymore.
Yeah.
So it's a little exposed, which is probably why there's a big old fire elemental hanging out there causing some trouble.
Well, Arthur was there when the village was abandoned. Arthur, so what happened was, the village was attacked by elementals. The occupants held them off really quite successfully, actually, surprisingly successfully. But they were ground down, and Arthur eventually was part of the bandit coalition force that was sent out to relieve and evacuate the survivors. So Arthur was there when it was abandoned. He helped it get abandoned, if you will. And they took all of the remaining survivors to the Crest, which is the fortress in the Crest Mountains that the Bandit Coalition and now the Wildwood Brigade operate. We've had in Ep1 and 2, you met Shyla Den, or at least Kesh did. Shyla Den is technically the commander of the Crest. But she's been moved to commanding the Alderheart element of the Wildwood Brigade. But because it's been the force under arms in the Crest has been significantly reduced, as Kesh said, the patrols have been drawn back. They would normally have gone out as far as Crestmarch, but they don't anymore.
You're off the edge of the map, mate.
Exactly. But
There'll be elementals.
Yes, Arthur is an awesome-looking goose.
Arthur's a handsome goose.
Yeah, that's fair. He is, in fairness. So, Kesh, can you make me a perception check, please? This is something only you would really notice.
Ooh.
On your travels. And
How can I see my perception? There it is.
Let's have a look.
Dirty 21.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah,
I'm
that'll
feeling
do.
Very bright and perceptive this fine day in the woods.
So, again, this is the first time you guys have travelled any significant distance together. What's the marching order? Who talks to who? Who leads? Who follows? Who scouts ahead? Does anyone do anything specific?
I imagine Kesh is kind of the one who knows where she's going, so...
This is your favoured terrain as well, so, like, as a ranger, this is your jam.
Yeah.
This is actually your marmalade. This is all your whole thing. Anybody else? Like, Ereq, Nikolai, how you...
Alpha would be at the back, sort of like...
Rear guard?
Yeah, rear guard.
Sure.
I think that Ereq would be at the back with Arthur as well.
Eldritch Scribe, welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. Des, pleasure having you again. Oh, we are very popular this evening. It's lovely. Thank you so much. Sorry to interrupt you there, Brendan. Yes, what's Arthur doing? Ereq doing, rather. Sorry, apologise.
Yeah, I think that after the heated exchange at the Springs, Ereq will probably be a little wary of Javier, and spending some time with Arthur. Having some
Javier's
chats,
woke up with a sore throat and isn't saying much tonight.
It's all that throat singing.
It's the throat singing.
Yeah, he's got a bit. He's feeling a bit croaky. He's feeling flu-like symptoms, actually, oddly enough. Josh Towns had his second COVID vaccination today, so oddly, he and Javier matching each other. Though Javier's legs work significantly better than Josh's do right now. Eldritch Scribe, you may recognize the art and the artist. These are Daria pieces. Cool. Alrighty, Kesh. As you're scouting ahead, you notice towards the end of the first day's march, you notice the terrain is oddly familiar. As in, like, you recognize this particular area, you've been here before. And when trying to figure out why, you recall that there is an old bandit cache nearby. From back before the founding of the Wildwood Brigade, back probably even before the founding of the Bandit Coalition as a good guy thing. Even in the nebulous, maybe good, maybe not, that they really were. This was back when they were bandits. I would like you, actually, I'm going to put the world building on you a little bit. What do you think it would look like? How would they have hidden it? What would they have done to disguise it? And
I'm imagining like they've picked out a tree that has like the good kind of slightly overground root system.
Yeah. Bit mangrove-y.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they've crafted a kind of covering that blends in with this rootiness. But if you know where to look, you'll see the little mark that means if you slip your hands
Nice.
under and flick it up, there's a little
Do
store of
you
goodies.
do you make note of it to anybody else?
Hmm.
Do you
But we're not
share
in
this
particular
information?
need at the moment.
You know that it would contain, if it's still got stuff in it, it would contain dried food, rations, and provisions, and some gear. It may also contain, and this is what the partially your role determined. It may also contain very useful items.
You want to have a look at it, but I don't want to necessarily give the location away.
Like you're scouting ahead, you could probably, without needing to roll for it, probably have a quick sneaky peek, just to
Yeah,
see.
I just want to have a quick sneaky peek to see if there's anything particularly notable. If it's just supplies, we don't need them. They might be worth leaving there
Yeah,
for later use.
I will say there is a half dozen javelins in there. Like I basically what I've made a note of. It contains 100 gold pieces worth of common items that anyone can choose from, up to 100 gold pieces worth. So you could have a great sword if you wanted to. There's one in there. But like, yeah, I would say there's a few javelins and a few like expendable munitions. There's a bunch of arrows and crossbow bolts. But Kesh, you also notice a potion of fire resistance.
Oh, she's slipping that into her back pocket.
That is, these would have been like the bandits ran into fire elementals and stuff all the time. So yeah, you find a potion of fire resistance in there. It's a little old, but it's still good, you think? It's a bit stale, but it's fine. And anything else, yeah, if you want
And
to
I'll
bring
grab
it...
a couple of javelins for Arthur.
Yeah.
And I'll just like spring out into view of others and be like, "Hey Arthur, I found your present."
Javelins. Oh my! How did you know I needed some?
I watched them
We were
crumble
all
into ash
there.
right in front of me.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you find them?
Oh, they were just over behind that tree.
Where? I want to have a look.
I point to a tree that is not the tree with the cash.
Ah, very good. Arthur would be aware that this is not an unusual thing. He's also a bandit from the old days, so he might well know to look for one. Ereq, on the other hand, yeah, you can roll an insight to see whether or not Kesh is deceiving you, or you can go and check out the tree that she indicates and not find anything.
Okay. I was hoping to roll a perception, but insight's fine too.
Oh, you can roll perception if you want. Insight's
That's
25.
25.
You are probably pretty confident she's lying, or be at least like not being honest with you.
Rumbled.
Would that give my perception check advantage?
You could probably figure it's a different tree, so yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Oh, not great. 14.
Yeah, your instinct would probably be to look at the tree she's popped out from behind.
Yeah.
But you would it would be make me an investigation check, but it wouldn't be with advantage because you need to really know what you're looking for to see if you can see the catch, the click, the whatever.
No.
No. No, I'm afraid you don't notice whatever it is. She's you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. It's a very well concealed cache.
But I know that she's been a bit sketchy about it.
Yeah, look. But you also know her backstory. It's not like I let you choose how what you do with this information. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can Arthur try to look for the stash?
Arthur would probably know what to look for. So yeah, make me a perception check as well.
Just ignore. Cash is like, leave it alone.
Yeah, you would probably spot it, Arthur.
Arthur
But
just sees like Ereq go so close to the tree and then like walk away, and he just sort of.
You know what?
And
I'll look up.
yeah, oh, interesting. Yeah.
Is that one there?
What?
You say that to who? To Ereq.
To Ereq.
You indicate it, and Ereq, I'll say you'll spot it. You'll spot the button. There is basically it's a sort of it's a knot in the wood that has been carved out and then put back in place. That when you push, it lowers. It's attached to a rope on the inside, and it lowers a trap door, and you can see into this basically hollowed out area. It's just a few bags and sacks of expendables and produce, and there's a well-oiled short sword wrapped in an oiled cloth to preserve it, and a few other bits and pieces in there if you want anything.
No.
Do I notice Arthur totally tipping Ereq off where it is?
I don't know, Arthur, were you being in any way deceitful or trying not to?
Arthur's gonna
Discreet?
wing you, Cash.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. It's
Look.
not there.
Oh, well spotted, Ereq. I wondered if you'd find it.
Thanks. I'm not going to take anything, but I'm going to clock this mechanism and watch to look for in future.
Very well. Yeah, there is a small. It would be. It's actually thieves' can. But yeah, it's just a single element of thieves' can. It would be almost. It's like druidic. It's only really notable to thieves. So it's designed to look not out of the ordinary. But you would, because of your familiarity with growing things, you would notice the button itself, the sort of the swirls in the knot of the wood have been actually carved. They're not natural. They were made that way, and they were made in a quite a clearly, if now that you're looking at it and looking for it, not natural way. So it's possible that this is a symbol that bandits know to look for.
Yep, cool.
Cool. Nice. So Arthur, if you would like to.
Secret ways.
Arthur's actually, since he's taken the javelins, he's going to leave behind his sling and some ammunition for that, and leave that in the hole.
Bring him by. I didn't know you had a swing. Cool. Yeah. There is.
May I ask you a question? This may be too personal. Why did you become bandits in the first place?
Well, it should be a long and complicated story, but the short version is there wasn't many other choices at the time.
Pretty much, yeah. It's well.
You know, when the other choice is starve, you become a bandit, really.
It's yeah. When you don't really have skills that you've developed to become like a tradesman or something, you know, hanging about the highway, traps and that kind of thing is, I don't know, you just fall in with the crowd, you know?
When you need somewhere to go and there's, you know, a group that wants people and is prepared to take you in and give you not exactly a job, but a place and something.
Somewhere to belong.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I understand.
Not the proudest decision of my life, but I think I made the only choice I could at the time.
If the Wildwood Brigadiers were to leave Alderheart, would you?
Oh gosh, why would we be leaving though?
Just a theoretical, hypothetical.
I don't know. Depend where we're going, I suppose.
I don't know.
Never mind. Forget about it. It was a silly question.
Hmm.
No, it's an interesting thought. I hadn't really gone past what we were doing right now. I hadn't thought about a time when this wasn't really something we had to be doing. So, food for thought.
It is an interesting thought as well, because you first become bandits, and then you become good bandits, and then you become an army fighting for the people you were first stealing from.
Well, we were mainly stealing from them because we didn't have anything of our own.
I mean, I wouldn't say we're like soldiers or anything. It was a hand that was offered, and it was the best option at the time.
The offer actually was full like the word like you immunity from prosecution. I'm trying to think of the word.
Like if the choice is do this or go to jail.
Well, it wasn't. It was very much a the choices offered were because Benis Eridan was Benis Eridan was the general of the Bandit Coalition, one of the two. It was a pair. Benis Eridan and Kral were the two sort of generals of the Bandit Coalition. Kral was very much against the abolition of the Bandit Coalition and the founding of the Wildwood Brigade, and the Heroes of Alderheart basically stomped on him and took Benna, bodyguarded Benna back to Alderheart. Benna negotiated a ceasefire between the Bandit Coalition and the Alderheart, and basically the rest of the wood. But the bandits announced motivation for what they were doing towards the end, certainly when Benis Eridan was in charge, was very much, we are helping the wood. We are stealing from you so that we have the material and the manpower to help the people affected by the fires, because Alderheart wasn't doing it. Towards the latter end of the conflict, the Bandit Coalition's motives became very altruistic. But it's worth noting both Kesh and Arthur joined before that and became good people, or became at least altruistically motivated people. And Kesh assisted assisted the defenders of Alderheart in putting Kral down in the first place, which is how she became in charge of the Crest, and then got moved to Alderheart to run the Wildwood Brigade there. So, and this is sort of lore dump because I'm not sure Karen remembers it, and the other two definitely don't know that. So that was sort of the backstory of that arrangement. And when the ceasefire was negotiated and the Wildwood Brigade was formed, the bandits were offered three choices. They could either remain bandits, but it would be without the
without of the coalition.
Yeah. The coalition was disbanded, and the people in it would be granted full immunity from prosecution for what they did, provided they stopped doing it, and they could either
bandit again. We won't get mad about all the banditing you already did.
It was basically an accepted. There's no way we can prosecute and capture all of you, so just stop it, and we good. And if you want to join up and actually keep doing the altruistic thing you're doing, fine, the Wildwood Brigade is here, and we'd love you to do that if you're prepared to. And a good proportion, about sort of 70-80%, went with that. And the rest took the other option. Almost none went, no, I'm going to keep being a bandit. Fuck you and your freedom. But yeah, very, very few did that. Kral was released and went off. And the other party has just met him again. And that's going to be interesting when that happens. So yeah, you were basically indemnity. That's, I think, the word I'm looking for.
Amnesty.
Amnesty. There you are. That's probably also it. Yeah, amnesty or indemnity, a full pardon, essentially, for all things, as long as you admit to what you did and agree to not do it anymore.
Mostly. We mostly agreed not to do it anymore.
I have stolen 3 ashtrays from the council.
Well, Arthur, you were just a disgrace to the wood.
You said you were going to stop being a bandit.
These kinds.
It's very hard, so I try to do it in little things. Things that they won't notice.
Here's a really important question, though, Arthur. Did you get 3 different ashtrays, or the same ashtray 3 times?
No, I'm stockpiling. I'm going to build it up, and then I'm going to sell it on the sly.
Just make sure they're not branded, okay? Because people will bust you over that bit.
True.
There is a lot of ash around.
Yeah,
so there will be a lot of supply for that demand, huh?
Damn it, we should have
But I
brought them
was-
with us. We should have brought the ashtrays with us. And then we could pop them underneath the elemental, just be like, bam, and it just
I
goes
remember
into the
from my
ashtray.
training now. That's how you destroy a major elemental.
You just need a really big
Ashtray.
ashtray.
Yeah.
And a big blanket.
Yeah.
Why did I bring the water?
And a pot. An iron pot,
On
ideally,
a
as well.
stick. You need a pot and a stick.
Two
Alrighty.
javelins will work.
I'm
Wait,
going to move this
serious
along a little bit. That's a really
Save us,
lovely...
DM, please.
Um,
Yeah.
I'd also like to welcome our latest follower, Roro. Thank you so much for joining. I think I know who Roro is. Rahima, it's lovely to have you. Thank you so much for joining us.
You get a
Cool.
shitty limerick.
Yeah, Rahima gets a shitty limerick. And everybody else who follows us this evening does as well. Ereq.
Unless it gets to a ridiculous number of people, in which case I'm just.
Yeah,
I'll
look,
help.
we'll see.
Thanks,
We'll all
Brendan. We'll all work together.
help. Ereq, during the night, you get to the first sort of stopover point. You have a bit of a rest. Yes, follow us on our socials and you'll be able to see your shitty limerick. And Ereq, can I get you to make whichever you favor, nature or arcana? And it doesn't necessarily have to be the one you're better at. It's just, I'm interested, mildly curious to see which one you choose.
Can I get some context into what I'm sensing?
No,
No, I'll just go Arcana.
okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, it's more sort of something will happen, and what you roll chooses what happens. Yeah.
Sure.
Arcana, cool. An 8.
8.
All right. Yeah. You, during the night, possibly while you were on watch, do you guys set a watch or do you all sleep and screw the bandits, you know?
I imagine we'd take turns sleeping. We're not
Yeah.
total fools.
Cool. Which order would you rest in? Who would take the middle watch?
Cash should probably take first watch on principle.
It is worthy to note that 2 of you have dark vision and 2 of you don't. Actually, I think Cash is the only one with dark vision. Although Ereq's night vision isn't bad. It's probably the best of the other 3.
I'll take morning watch.
Yeah.
Phoenixy Wacky, yes, you should be grateful. It was her birthday, she lent you one. I went over and played some of these, some playtest content from Cobalt Press. It's very exciting.
And like, I was all worried that Josh would wake me up by streaming in the morning. But no, my mother called me really early in the morning.
Happy birthday!
Oh, my mother didn't text until 2 days after my birthday, so that was cool.
I don't know which I'd prefer.
I prefer a text 2 days late than a phone call bright and early. Happy birthday, darling! I'm like, why are you calling me?
Thamiel,
Well,
we
I
didn't
got-
we didn't stream it. It was just it was a home game sort of thing.
Oh,
Alrighty, sorry.
sorry.
keep
yes,
getting
Ereq was
distracted by
having
chat.
a drink.
Ereq, it's not a dream, but at some point during the night when you're on watch, you
Second
feel
watch will be the middle watch.
second watch, cool. You feel a build-up of elemental magic within you, as if
I release my gas.
from your face. Yeah, what do? You can feel it like it wants to come out.
Do we probably have a campfire going?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I will try to release it in the direction of the campfire.
Ah, lovely. Yeah. So your little phoenix buddy pops out of your face and flutters around and actually swoops down and sits in the fire. And the fire, which had been banked for the night and was sort of glowing coals, very nice and warm, but yeah, not a roaring campfire, becomes a fairly roaring campfire. The flames change color a little bit; they go a little bit more yellow than they normally would be. Yeah, he's just sitting in there having a lovely little play. Yeah, we have a pet phoenix, and well, sort
It
of
lives
pet phoenix.
inside of me.
Yeah, phoenix person, yeah,
I'm a bird.
it's just hanging out. Yeah, what would it be? It's not being aggressive. It's just frolicking, basically. So if you want to interact with it or do anything with it, you're welcome to.
We should really come up with a name for you at some point, friend.
Ooh.
But not now. Psych. Why?
Aww.
Why did you want to come out so bad?
It sends back. It cheeps at you and says, "Friend."
Well, you can help me to keep watch, I suppose.
And it flutters out of the fire and lands on your shoulder, and assumes a very alert position, and sort of looks out. And while it's sitting on your shoulder, you notice that your night vision has gotten better.
Great.
Yeah. And you can.
Just out of this is a crazy thought, but I'm going to. I mean, there isn't a lot of flesh on my claw, but I'm going to kind of put my claw in front of my eyes, and I want to see if my eyes are glowing at all. Like, if I can see light reflected, I can see whether my hand is lit up from my eyes.
You could try. You might try a metal blade or something. See if it reflects off the metal blade a little bit more of a mirrored surface.
That's some strong imagery for fan art. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a scimitar out and look at that against my eyes and see if there's any kind of what for reflection.
Doesn't seem to be. Your eyes don't seem to be glowing. It's more like it's more like your eyesight just gets better when the Phoenix is around.
Huh. I want to feel my burnt patches and see if the growth has increased.
No. They are growing back, but not at an expected rate. They don't feel markedly different to the way they did when you got out of the pond yesterday evening. It's not linked to the bird.
I look at the elemental and I say, you are certainly full of surprises, aren't you?
Friend.
I will reach over and get like a little twig and feed it to my pet elemental.
Ooh, yeah. What would that look like? Does it sort of burn as it eats it?
Yeah, I mean, it would be largely performative. I think that I could probably put the wood anywhere in its body and it would just kind of consume it. But
yeah,
we're going to go through this kind of.
No, it does make a thing of actually eating it. Yeah. It looks at it looks as the one you've picked up, which is sort of deadfall, and it sort of turns its nose up at it. But if you offer it a recently dropped, still has the green shoots and green leaves on it, it likes that better. It emulates it one way or the other, but it prefers to eat something that was at least reasonably still living. This is more satisfying.
That worries me a little bit. Somewhat disturbing, but I will give it both.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely has preference. Cool. Alrighty. Splendid. The following day, as you're walking along, you're getting quite high into the foothills of the Crest Mountains now, heading towards summits you know. In fact, in the distance, you can, and Kesh would probably have pointed out to those who don't know it, have pointed out the crest itself, they all have the same bleeding name. It's really confusing, but I mean the fortress, the crest, which is visible from quite a long distance away. It is you've seen the Japanese-style fortresses with the serried roofs, the gently sloping serried roofs are beautiful things. It is very much that sort of inspired. At least my one is. But has several courtyards and it is concentric walls and so forth. It's quite an excellent defensive position, but it's also quite an attractive structure. It has blue roofs, and the walls are actually a light pink in the afternoon sun. And Arthur, can you roll me a perception check, please?
Absolutely.
As you reach the top of one of the rises, you make out something. Let's see.
6.
A 6. Yeah, you would see one thing. As you crest one of the mountains, one of the hills, you make out something you haven't seen in years, since you were a much younger man, since before you were, in fact, were a bandit. When you were a young man, I'm giving you a bit of a lore dump. I don't know if you've actually decided an awful lot about what you did as a kid, but when you were a young man, you worked for a season on the docks of Alderheart. Now, may seem odd for a tree city in the middle of a forest to have a docks, but this was a special one. You see, Alderheart is one of the few structures in all of Everden tall enough for a Hiscalia to make dock without having to come dangerously low. Hiscalia are skyships. A large, basically a flying whale, with something of a zeppelin, like a gondola underneath. And the whale feeds on mossy spores and things floating in the atmosphere. So it doesn't really mind where it is as long as there's a food source. So it'll happily take people anywhere, really. And during your time at the docks, you learn to tell them apart. You saw 4 of them in your time there, and they can be quite distinctive, particularly if you know what to look for. However, they stay aloft through the... what's the word I'm looking for? They metabolize helium and hydrogen. And hydrogen, at least, is explosive. So they have stayed away from Humblewood for a couple of decades, actually, while the whole business with the fire elementals was going on. Both they and their captains have steered clear. And you once heard a captain remark that it was getting a bit too dangerous to bring them to Alderheart for exactly that reason. Fire and boats, particularly skyboats, don't get along well. Well, what you can see in the far distance, as you top a hill, is a Hiscalia.
Right.
It's far in the distance to the north. It's hard to make out the direction it's travelling in, but you think it may be the Arethusia, which was a trading vessel that has a bit of a reputation for smuggling.
Yeah.
From the way the sails are rigged and a couple of the banners depending from the vessel's underside, you recognise that one.
Major, there is, well, what are they called again, sorry?
Hiscalia.
Hiscalia. There's a Hiscalia up ahead, right? I know that one from my, more innocent days. Not too innocent, though, because it is, in fact, a smuggling sort of ship. Now, my concern, we were told that there's a fire elemental around here, right?
Yes.
If it does get at that, it will cause a mighty big boom, right?
Oh, yeah, they're explosive. Right. How far away is it?
I mean, he points it out, it's a long way. It's probably not within the borders of the Humblewood yet. It hasn't crossed the mountains, but you can see it because it's a big thing. It's hard to tell. You've only just spotted it. It's probably 300 feet long. These creatures are very large, probably about 100 meters long. Have to be to maintain their altitude with as much. They're very low mass, very high size, large size. But yeah. You can see you would guess probably from its position approaching, but they aren't very fast.
Okay.
Right, well, we should probably try and locate this elemental before it gets much closer.
True.
I don't fancy trying to signal it in a hurry if there's a big flamey, angry thing causing chaos down here.
Oh, that's smart. I was going to suggest we double dip and get protection, charge protection fees to the captain from the fire elemental. But no, you're right. We should think about safety of the people first. We are trying to be good.
Yeah.
Actually,
We're
Arthur, make a
trying
history
to
check.
do it. Would shaking down this airship captain be a very bad idea?
Arthur, you recall stories of the airship's captain, who I am now struggling to. I'm like frantically trying to remember his name. This guy is the one doing the shaking down, not the other way around, more often than not. Where are we?
And if we weren't part of the Wildwood Brigade and we actually managed to get the jump on them, we would earn such a name for ourselves.
Well, if we ever do find ourselves back out here and, disreputable, shall we say, worth remembering.
His name
Are you
is...
having this conversation openly?
Yeah.
Arthur, you remember his name is Jonah Littlefoot, the captain.
I see you, Josh Walker.
Yes.
Why would we want to shake someone down?
Because it's Jonah Littlefoot. I mean, if we can shake him down, that's a story that we can tell everywhere.
And dine out
if
on
we
that one.
survived it, he'd probably kill us.
We could survive. He's tiny.
He's a Jerbeen, with a rep. Quite famously the son of a son of a famous warlord, from outside of the Humblewood. But the guy is like, his dad sounds terrifying. The guy is more like, sort of an Errol Flynn style pirate captain, like dashing and eccentric and fancy. Like a fun guy to hang out with, a good guy to have a beer with, but also like knows his way around a rapier. Not a man with whom not to fuck.
Well,
You'd like to have a beer with him, but you wouldn't want him as your president.
Yeah, dead set.
well, in my position, given our situation, I think it would be wisest if we could avoid interacting with Captain Littlefoot and just, kill the fire elemental before the ship gets too close and might go boom, and then get out of here before he might find some reason to interact with us.
Exactly.
Yes, let's try to find a way to remove this fire elemental from our plane.
Without a massive explosion.
Right.
That would be
Now that
ideal.
We're on the topic of removing it. I mean, if we're not gonna go outright and try to, kill it, and if we want to do a diplomatic route, should we get like a translator or a little dictionary, something that we can maybe communicate with it a bit more fluently?
This is something that I have been wanting to work on. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do that while we're traveling and marching so much, but I have been communicating with who a little bit more, so hopefully I will be able to pick up some lingo.
Slang words.
We kind of muddled through it last time, but there is every chance that this one will just try to kill us, in which case it's a much more straightforward interaction, if a
That's true.
potentially more deadly one.
The last one was very motivated to communicate with us as well.
Yes, whereas the one before that was very motivated to kill us. So
See what
I
you
suppose
get.
we're letting it make the call, really,
Yeah.
which I don't like, but I'm okay to roll with while it's working for us.
Well,
Sure.
let's be prepared to defend ourselves and kill an elemental, but not excited to, huh?
Yes. Let's not get ourselves into any more danger than strictly necessary for the completion of the task at hand.
I look
should
at
put that on a
Javier.
banner.
What? I don't want to kill anyone. If I happen to find a dead body, then maybe I have use for it. I don't know, but I wanted to actually do the killing. Yes, this is our job.
Chief,
Brilliant.
let's keep going.
Javier's gone on one of his weird rants about corpses again. We should go.
We should
Alrighty.
do that at one point, really.
You should probably do it when he's here, though.
Javier, your backstory. Go.
You may have noticed that all three of you have had a thing. Javier also had a thing that may have answered some of those questions. Unfortunately, he's currently come down with a nasty case of not having a good leg right now, and also COVID vaccine. So anyway, you stop off for a second evening, and the Hystalia has slowly approached. You've kept an eye on it, I imagine. You reckon it's probably not going to get here for another day or so, 2-3 days at least, to be honest. So you're probably good for a little while if you accomplish your job in the next, day or so. You also know you are 3-4 hours away from your target. Kesh, Kesh and Arthur are both very familiar with this neck of the woods, if you pardon the pun. Or play on words. It's more of a play on words. All right. Early on the third day, you're getting pretty close. The terrain is opening up. Fewer trees, able to scratch a living from the shallow soil of the mountains. Are you traveling differently?
I think same marching order.
Same marching order?
You settle into a pattern,
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably just being a bit nostalgic and lingering at some trees. Oh, I remember robbing a merchant here.
Yeah.
Oh, you smashed his face into that branch.
You've remembered.
I did. His teeth went everywhere.
You can still see the stain.
I've made my mark on the world.
And on that Vulpin guy.
Way?
All right. Can I get a perception check, please? Kesh and Arthur, you have advantage as you're familiar with this terrain.
Ooh. Nice. Ooh. 17.
Oof.
19.
Nice. 19. Very good.
Dirty
Kesh with
21
advantage,
again.
21. Jeez. All right, yeah, you all notice this. First thing you all notice is, Kesh, you are not surprised by this at all, but there is a distinct lack of patrols by Wildwood Brigade. You're not surprised by that at all, because you know that they don't have the forces to patrol this large an area. You all spot smoke rising in the distance in the direction you're heading. Probably about an hour's walk to the northeast, just over a couple more hills. However, Kesh, you also spot, because you are aware of the lack of patrols that are scheduled to be in this area, it's doubly surprising when you spot a group of figures moving in a line, looking about themselves and giving the distinct impression of a patrol. And when you get a little closer, you realize these aren't people. It, in fact, seems to be a group of about half a dozen minor elementals.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
I'll just grab whoever's next to me and, like, pull him down so we're, like, hiding behind him.
What is going on? What is wrong? I wasn't looking.
Guys, I'm not going crazy, am I? It's a line of fire elementals marching with some level of organization and tactics.
There are 2 magmen and 4 mephits, each a slightly different color. One is smoky, one burns, one is faint, rather like the one you saw underneath the pond, and the last could easily be mistaken for a small whirlwind. Except that it keeps moving with purpose, and occasionally a limb comes out, reaches out of it, and points at things. It's hard to tell, but you would guess the smoky one is in charge.
So these are not fire elementals.
They all have... Ereq, make me an Arcana check. To determine that. You couldn't tell. You couldn't say. At least 3 of them are on fire.
Okay.
The two magmen and one of the mephits are distinctly actually on fire right now. The others you've already encountered a steam method that has sort of aspected links to fire. The smoky one, the dusty one, and the those are the other two. Wouldn't be hard to infer that they are linked in some manner, but you don't necessarily know enough about elementals to tell.
Are they like talking to each other?
Ooh, Kesh, make a perception check.
And can I tell?
Oh shit! Sorry, ignore that. That's a deception, not a perception.
Are they heading towards the same direction of the smoke, or are they? You said they're a patrol, so
they appear to be sort of looping it. Yeah, they appear to be moving parallel to it. If you're moving directly towards it, they would be crossing your path. Kesh, a 9 one way or the other. Yeah, hard to say. You couldn't make it out. They do appear to be making hand gestures, though. You are far enough away that they haven't spotted you, which is why you are a long way off. 21 was enough to spot them well before they spotted you.
Right.
And you are hiding.
So a dilemma here, chaps. We can take the offensive route and just, sneak up on them and swoop from above, so to speak.
Good plan.
Or we can approach them and see how they react. But given how many were there?
6.
But there's 6 of them and 4 of us. So the element of surprise might be to our advantage.
What is the chance of them actually being friendly? We have met 2 who were right next to a doorway out. These are not that, and they appear to be moving in a coordinated fashion.
I was going to say the ones that were friendly were not as militaristic as this. DM, this might be a bit of a long shot. Would I have any shot at making an insight check to see if I could kind of tell their hostility or nah?
Yeah, you can try.
Like
Always let you try.
Yeah, looking at others. Or things
You do have a being with you that might be able to help with that.
I take him out. I take
and
it out.
ask. You get.
Sorry, that's a terrible joke.
Yeah. You get from your little Phoenix buddy. They say they look wary of them, not aggressive, not scared, but you might want to be cautious of that.
Also, isn't the crest is nearby? Where are the Wildwood Brigade? They should have patrols about the place. They'd have picked up on this.
They pulled the patrols back, Arthur. Remember?
Ah, shit.
They don't have enough people left after the the big one, and this is quite far out. It's on the edge. I guess they thought it would be all right if no one was keeping an eye on it.
Such a nice little fort. Right.
I know. But that really wasn't the consideration.
I don't know. I feel like we follow them back. Actually, we follow them on the patrol for a bit. We see what they do. We try not to get spotted. We observe a bit, and then if they feel dodgy, then we take them out.
That's not the worst idea, Arthur. And if we follow them for a while, we might get a better idea of how organised they are.
Yeah.
So to speak.
I do like the idea, although how good are all of us at following them undetected? I look at big Mr. Pronghorn.
Well, this is still Cash's favourite. I mean, he's not particularly, but this is still Cash's favourite terrain, and if you guys follow a decent distance behind her, she can follow them reasonably easily. And then you guys can follow Cash.
And I have advantage on stealth. So
Yes, you have advantage on stealth anyway, and you're in your favored terrain. It's almost a given that Cash will succeed at this.
What's the light like?
It's probably 10 in the morning.
So you wouldn't call it dim?
No, sorry.
That's a shame.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you're a Corvum. Yeah, no. And
Because I could go with you. I'm not terrible at sneaking around. I'm a bit better at night, but if you wanted some closer backup, then I could potentially go with you.
look, I'm reasonably confident that I can approach them unseen. And if I do get into a spot of bother, I'm sure I can scream.
Exactly. Screaming will be running.
Unless they burn your throat out. Okay,
Wow.
off you go.
Wow, thanks, Ereq. That was a real morale booster. I feel a lot better now.
And don't forget, smoke can get into your lungs as well and prevent you from projecting out and sting your eyes and prevent you from seeing any unseen assailants.
I mean, what is your goal with this statement, Ereq? I'm confused.
You'll be fine.
Are you being deliberately sarcastic, or are you...
No.
Right, you're just not very good with people. Okay.
Hey, you three Muppets stay here, and I'll sneak up on the fiery things, all right? Like last time. Remember how that worked really well?
Very well. Our plan
Okay.
always go according to plan.
Look, this isn't Team Sloppy Crime. This is probably going to be fine.
That sounds messy.
It was.
Okay, go.
It was
Okay.
our nickname in AJ's game because
All right.
we were really shit at crime. For a
But they
bunch of
loved,
criminals.
but they loved doing it for a bunch of criminals. Yeah, you were really awful at it.
We were
All
just
right,
really enthusiastic.
I
Make
believe
me-
you, Chief.
make me a stealth check, Cash,
Major.
Oh, hang on. Didn't roll
with
my
advantage.
There we go. 22.
22 is pretty
Sneaky,
darn
sneaky,
good. Sneakity sneak, yeah. You sneakity sneak. And yeah, I would say you managed to stealth along behind these guys. Cash, you would certainly get close enough to determine that they are communicating with each other. You couldn't say what they're saying. Actually, no, we determined last week you actually speak Oran. Or at
I
least
get a bit of what they say.
you get a bit of it. In fact, the smoky one and the steamy one, the smoky one and the dusty one, you can kind of make out what they're saying. It's very simplistic language. It's very much lacking in joining words. It's all sort of, yeah, you come, we go. Not there. See
Simple
anything?
concepts.
Yeah. What see? And yeah, it's pretty clear they are patrolling. They are looking for things at the instruction of something else.
Do they appear to be like heading back towards something or away from something?
They do appear to be sort of circling back, probably to the place you're heading.
Okay.
Thanks, Phoenix. Have a good night, mate. Wheatbelt, I just want to say, Brandon has showed us your fan art, and I freaking love it. Can we show it on stream? After our break, can I pop it up on stream and show everybody? Because it's freaking awesome. Yeah, it's in our Discord chat, guys, if you fancy having a look. Oh, no, Brendan messaged it to me privately. I'll show everybody in a minute. It's.
I do not have those permissions, unfortunately.
I'm extremely excited. This is the first fan art Corsair's Cove has had, and I'm made up. It's actually made my evening. Thank you. Yeah, it's really good. All right. Yeah. So, what do you do with this information, Cash? Do you return to your buddies, knowing where they're going?
I'm going to sneak back to the others.
Mm-hmm.
And like relay quickly. Okay, the smoky one, the dusty one, they appear to be like in charge. They're definitely keeping watch for people, and they're heading back towards the kind of crest fortress.
Yeah.
So if we want to stop them regrouping with whatever's hiding in there, we probably need to act quickly.
I feel like I have kind of become the de facto moral compass in terms of whether or not to kill these elementals, I think that we should pick them off.
Pick them off. I went very posh. Pick them off. What do you mean pick them off?
I was actually thinking, well, Kesh, you and I, we've spent a fair bit of time at this place. We know a bit better than they do. If we can sneak in and take out the leadership first,
Little ones
we don't need
bite
to worry
the
about
spurs.
being organised.
Arthur, it's not a bad idea, and this is not me saying it's a bad idea at all. It's not a huge village. Think 200 houses tops. It is really laid out in an east-west valley. It's no more than 3 streets wide at its widest point. It's very much one central road leads up the middle with houses right along it on either side, and then probably a couple more rows of houses, one on either side of that. Then the occasional few up and down the hillside slopes a bit, but really not much larger than a standard village in Skyrim, you know? Sort of feels like it has way more population than the number of buildings would actually accommodate. That's not a particularly big place, but totally big enough for you to accomplish what you're trying, what you seem to think might be a good idea. However, you do know that the hillsides down to it are pretty barren, even before they got burnt. Not a lot of tree cover and so forth. There is a mine entrance at the top of the valley that leads down. About halfway down, there's a well, and that's pretty much at where the village starts proper. And then in the center of the village is a shrine. And that's basically it. It's very sort of bare bones mining village. Nothing really fancy. No particularly large buildings. No major places of worship. There's a sort of the town meetings were held outside at the shrine, basically.
Would there be a way possibly to split them up before they go in? Then we could possibly pick off a few of them without taking the risk of attacking all 6 of them at once.
The only problem with that is that if half of them return, then they will obviously know that they've been disrupted, and that might give us away.
I was thinking more we create a distraction, and hopefully they decide to send a few people off to investigate without everybody going off to investigate.
Even if they send everybody, we could possibly... I have some magic, as does Mr. Shadowmalt here. Perhaps we are able to... If we spring trap, then they are mostly... These are the small ones, the weak ones. Only the large one is the one we are worried about. I think this is a good idea, but if we lure them somewhere and then kill them, this might be the best course of action. And I can't tell if I'm butchering Javier's accent or not.
It's hard to trust Javier's opinion right now because it's coming from you. And you might be just trying to manipulate us into doing something stupid for your own amusement.
How far away are we from the smoke? Or how far do we think we are from...
45 minutes to an hour of walk.
Okay, so it's like if we were to get...
If you were to make a lot of noise, it probably wouldn't be heard. Yeah.
I do like your idea, Arthur, of sneaking in, but I think that if we can take care of this group now, then that would be, if we were to be spotted inside the town, this would be one less group of things to try to kill us.
And we can do both.
I think we can do both.
I like that as a concept. We pick off these ones now, and then we can deal with the big one later.
Agreed. Who will be luring them?
I volunteer. I'm very good at that.
Okay.
What? So,
I am ready.
Is there like any favorable terrain? Is there like perhaps a little gully we could lure them into?
You could certainly, you're on your way back from where they were, you could probably have, I will say, you found a gully that would make a reasonably good ambush spot cache. So if you find somebody who would be good to lure them into it, yeah, you could certainly do that.
There's this goose-shaped creature that's been hanging out with us. And I feel like he'd be a great lure.
Very
He just
well.
got some fresh javelins. He's good to go.
Cool. All right.
I can do it. I'll get some liquid courage in me. If we do have a spare potion of fire resistance, that could be handy, but maybe not necessary. And I'll just, tail it.
I love this plan.
Look, I'm not shooting down the potion of fire resistance out of unkindness. It's just that we're going to have to find a bigger one later. We might want to save it for the big one.
Yeah.
And also, Arthur doesn't know that you have one. However,
I'm
Javier,
working on some back in town.
If only we did have a potion of
Yeah.
fire resistance.
you are in fact.
Too much.
Javier does say, I can cast, and he would cast protection from evil and good on you.
Oh.
I don't think it would be too much of a leap to say that without Josh's permission, because he did it last time. So yeah, I'm gonna willy-nilly burn one of Javier's spell slots and cast protection from evil and good, giving you resistance to it. I think it's disadvantage on all attacks being made against you. So yeah, he'll do that. You guys are going
to go into the gully and be.
Well, Arthur leads them up the gully. You guys sort of hang out in the fringes of the gully, ready to shoot them.
Yes.
Ideally with area effect stuff.
My plan would be to, when I hear or see the group coming, I would get out fire elemental, light it up, and then prepare an ice knife.
Nice. All right. Cool.
I'm going to quickly cast Goodberry.
Sure. You do that. You get 10 good berries. They're pretty good.
Alrighty. I'll get closer to the elementals, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll find we're in a forest. I'll find a tree and I'll do the Looney Tunes sexy leg coming out of the side of the tree, but it's just like a goose foot.
This is just for my own edification. Make me a performance check, please, Arthur.
Please. I've got inspiration for something. Can I use that?
I do recall giving you inspiration. Yes, you can totally use your inspiration for this performance check.
Right. Or?
Oh yeah, because he's negative. He's 8. Yeah, it's not sexy. I'm going to be honest. I'm sorry, but it's not a good look on you, Arthur.
Trying to do it and then I'm falling over from my balance failure.
Yeah, your legs aren't particularly long. It's definitely a vibe.
I was just thinking of what unsexy goose dances can I think of? Oh yes, Friends with the giant chicken, the giant goose, turkey.
Oh yeah,
on the head. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be sexy. I mean, look, even in a world where there might be a lady goose out there that would find it sexy, but this was even for a lady goose. This is not even a lady goose wouldn't be like, ooh, this would not stand up at the all-male review at the Hung, Drawn and Quartered, for example.
Yeah, she's just watching going, I don't know how that man ever gets laid.
Kesh is not close enough to see, but yeah.
I'll
allow it. Go on then, Kesh saw it. And Kesh could... even Ereq, who is a bird and therefore has a slightly different perception on these things, goes, wow, that guy... Does he ever get... I don't know. Now I am thinking
Well,
that...
he definitely got laid once. That's how he was born. That's how bird folk work.
Yes, nice. All right. Cool. Arthur, yeah, I'm going to make this a skill check. Can you make me an athletics check, please? And I'm going to roll 2 dice with... I'm going to roll twice with disadvantage because of that protection from evil and good. So the first is 5. 12, okay. It's not great. But the second was a natural 1. A natural fuck, actually, on my shiny dice that Karen gave me for Christmas. Yeah, cool. Yeah, neither of them managed to catch you, and the other was an 11, so it would have hit, because I'm adding things. So yeah, great. That's good. Well done. Thank you, Javier. He just saved you from a bit of damage. You run, and these things do, in fact, pursue you. They were offended by how unsexy your leg sticky outy was, and they follow. And I think we will go for a break there, ladies and gents. We will be back very shortly. We'll just go for a short 5-minute break, and I'm going to put the our marvelous fan art from Wheatbelt in the middle so everyone can see it because it's cool. So thank you so much, guys. We will be back at 5 to 10. Say goodbye, everybody. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Corsair's Cove and the Humblewood of Monsters and Magic. Episode 4, hashtag not all fire elementals, but some fire elementals, particularly the ones you guys are about to murder. So, murderating the countryside.
Strategically extinguish, thank you.
Yes, sorry. I apologize. So, I did say beforehand that we would bring up that amazing fan art from our friend Wheatbelt. There it is right there on the stream. It is the whole group, and I freaking love it.
Oh my god.
I love it. Oh.
I actually think Wheatbelt's done an amazing job of getting them all the right height as well. If anything, Javier is a bit short, but otherwise it's freaking
so
excellent. But just woof.
It's
So
just meat with reindeer horns.
yeah. I absolutely
I really
love
like
it.
Arthur as well.
Oh, I love Arthur.
It makes me extremely happy. This is our first fan art because it's
cute.
quite a new channel, and I'm so happy with it. It's extremely kind, Wheatbelt. An excellent job. Like, really cool. Love it. Cool. Yeah. Anyway, we'll pop that back up at the end when we're talking about our favorite moments. This was definitely mine.
Let's kill some things.
Alrighty. Can I get you? You guys will get a surprise round because, except Arthur, because he's already involved. But the other 3 will get a surprise round. I'm gonna roll this here. Thistlebritches follower. Thank you so much, Thistlebritches, for the follow. That's an amazing name. Really good stream name. Like that.
I'm gonna have fun with that one in the limericks, I think.
Yes. Unfortunately, Javier rolled a 3 for his initiative.
You want us rolling ours too?
Yes, please.
22.
22 and a surprise round. You are going to get 2 goes before these guys do shit. Ereq, what do you want?
I have no area effect
12.
damage.
12. 12 for Ereq also gets 2 goes before these guys go because they got an 11 and a 9. Arthur, what's yours? What do you get?
14.
14. All right. Yeah, you get to turn around and do stuff before they do as well. But I'm afraid, yeah, not double round for you. Javier got a 3, and I don't think his dexterity is anything special. So let's just have a look. Is he? Yeah, he has a +0 to his initiative. All right. Splendid. So. Arthur is running in like a goose with his tail on fire, which it almost is, through this gully. You guys have positioned yourself stealthily in the area around the gully. And, tell me, Kesh, what do you do? I will happily let you take both of your turns at once if you would just fire a couple of arrows.
I'm pretty much gonna shoot at them.
The Mephits will be first because they are actually technically faster than the Magmin. The Magmin are the little fire goblins. They are far more corporeal. The Mephits seem to float, and none of them have really legs. They're more sort of like genie ending, sort of like wispy below the waist sort of thing.
Well, I will shoot the most solid-looking one.
The most solid-looking Mephit would probably be the Magma Mephit, leading he's second in the line behind the Smoky Boy.
He is getting an arrow to hopefully whatever counts as his face.
Well, he has a face sort of situation. Yeah.
21.
Oh, I apologize.
Nice.
I think I hit him in whatever counts as his face.
You probably did. 21 looks pretty good to me. Yeah, I've got too many windows open, Thermior. There we are. Alrighty. Sure, 21, yes.
Oh, snap. 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage.
Nice.
Damage.
Kesh, would you like to cast any spells on this person? Like bonus action spells, for
I
example.
only have 3 spell slots.
But one of them is Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, but I already cast Goodberry.
Oh, okay.
We've
Fair
probably
enough.
got another fight after this. So
No, fair enough. Yep, absolutely.
I'm just going to use my other action to shoot it again.
Very well, you do that. 12 on the first hit. Go for the second.
Will a 15 hit it?
Ooh, let me check. I think so. Let's just see. Elementals. This is, you are shooting the magma method. Has an AC of, yes, it does.
Yes.
Roll me that
Awesome.
damage. These are your favorite enemies, yes? Elementals?
Elementals, yes.
In which case, you add 2 damage, I think, don't you? Oh, no, I'm thinking of something else.
No, favorite enemy doesn't give me any advantage on attacking them, just in tracking
Still
them.
another... Wow, you got an 8 and a 7 on your dice to damage. Very nice. That's almost max damage on 2 shots. That is a total of 23 damage. The magma method has no damage resistances to what you just did to it. It explodes.
Ooh.
Take the magma boy out.
Yeah, she's metaphorically on fire.
Well, and because none of your friends were near him, none of your friends are on fire. However,
I didn't realize that was an issue.
it explodes quite violently. And one of its buddies standing next to it, makes its dex save, so it manages to take half. But the dust one actually seems to have been sort of buffeted by the fiery explosion, just a little bit. That's Kesh's 2 shots. Next, we are talking about Arthur. You get 1 go, but what do you want to do?
Arthur has just been like half running, half trying to fly with his wings.
Picturing the chickens from Chicken Run.
Yeah.
Sure.
Once the trap has been sprung, he's just going to whip around with his like railway hammer and fly into a rage.
Excellent.
And like these like flickering
Neats
shades,
the first one.
flicker at him, and yeah, he's just gonna wallop on the one nearest to him.
Very well. The smoke method is the one that's leading the charge.
Alrighty. That will be a reckless attack on the smoke method.
Love it.
We all know there's nothing more scary than an angry goose.
You find this smoke method is very difficult to hit. It's like your blows pass straight through it. Not because you missed it, but because its AC is higher than that. Yeah, you didn't beat the AC, not because it's incorporeal and you can't hurt it. But yeah, you do miss, unfortunately.
Major, they did not like my dancing.
I didn't either, Arthur, but keep at it.
You just don't
Practice
appreciate
makes
the arts.
perfect.
Ereq, you get 2 goes. What do you do?
Oh, I get 2 goes?
Yes.
Great.
You get basically it's a surprise round, and then your actual turn before the methods get a go.
Okay. Is my fire spirit already battle ready?
Yes.
Brilliant. And I said I wanted to have Ice Knife prepared.
Yes.
Do you want me to do that as an action or as a reaction?
I'm giving you a
Let's do it as an action.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I am going to aim this at a group of them, maybe the ones at the back, the really fiery ones.
So there is there are 2 magmins which are a little bit behind everybody else. They're a bit slower, but they're running along and they're sort of yelping in an excited fashion. Gabbling to each other. Gabbling is a good word, and definitely what they're doing is sort of like is
Okay.
is a very close approximation of the noises they are making. And so there's two of them standing next to each other. Then there's the dust one and the steam one, which were behind the magma one that Cash exploded. The dust one seemed to be a little bit injured by the explosion, but the steam one didn't seem in any way incommoded by it. They would be clustered. Then there's the smoke one, which is adjacent to Arthur.
Okay. No, I'm gonna target the two magmen at the back.
Yep.
Let's just make this a first level ice knife.
Very well.
Oh, bad.
Does not hit.
Do I have advantage because they're surprised?
I would allow, because you prepared it, I would allow an advantage roll.
You are a
Don't cock it
kind and
up.
benevolent god.
Kind of
thank you.
benevolent god, thank you very much. Yes. You still miss.
It was almost an 18. And
This
then it
is the
rolled onto a
dice.
2.
This is what the dice think should happen, I'm afraid. You miss, but it does explode.
Yes, and that's the important thing, really.
Yeah, look.
Oh wait, no, ignore that one. It's 2d4, isn't it? I'm just gonna check. Yep, 2d6. Let's do that.
36. That's alright. Yeah.
9 cold damage.
Oh! Do you want to know how many hit points a magman has? 9.
10.
9. You caught them both, and they both.
Oh,
so,
they do need a roll. Unless
Oh,
you
that's
just want
true.
to give it to me.
No, that's fine. Fair point. A 19 and a 4. One of them. So what happens is the knife digs into the ground at their foot like a smoking grenade. They both stop and look down and then go, and one of them dives out of the way. Well, no, actually, one of them dives onto it, and sort of clusters himself around it to protect his buddy, and he expires as it goes off. But the other one sort of shields its face and takes a whole bunch of nasty shard damage in its eyes, but survives the experience, taking 4 damage instead. Yeah, that was very unpleasant. They did not care for that at all, and this one looks up and wipes its eyes and clears its eyes and can see you, Ereq.
Okay.
And it goes.
Bonus action to get my wildfire spirit to fly towards the group and towards Arthur. How far away is my spirit from Arthur?
Arthur would be 20 feet away from you. The magmen are probably more like 60, 70 feet.
Right.
They're all sort of drawn out in a line, with the magmen being the one end of it and Arthur and the smoke method being the other one, coming through this gully, and you're on the side of it, probably near Arthur.
So is Arthur adjacent to any of them?
The smoke method.
To the smoke method. Okay. All right.
And he did that himself.
Yes. I indicate to the spirit, to the elemental, to target the dusty one.
Sure.
And it is going to use its flame seed against it.
Ooh, what does that do?
Exciting.
This is it's going to like spit an ember at the dust guy. So this is a D20 roll. Unfortunately, there isn't like a just button to hit for it, so we need to do
fair
this
enough.
manually.
Smack me out a D20.
Wow.
16.
Plus my spellcasting modifier.
Look,
So that
Tell
would
you
hit.
what, that hits. Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. And then it is a D6 plus my proficiency bonus damage.
Ooh.
As fire damage. So that is
4.
I think 4, yes.
4 fire damage. Very well. This dust method who's just sort of recombobulating itself, and a lot of its sort of essence got blown away by the blast, and it's sort of gathering itself back together as a sort of semi-corporeal being, takes a bit of fire to its face, and doesn't some of its dust sort of just falls to the ground. It's sort of like it loses coherence a little bit and loses a bit of itself to this. Very nice.
Nice.
Doesn't take a lot of damage, but it does take some. Very well. Your second turn.
Yeah, it's a lot. Look,
Carrying on.
cantrips. No, cool.
This is why we lay traps. It's great.
I'm gonna do another ice knife. This
Mm-hmm.
time against the group in the middle.
Yep. Very well. So the
cool.
dust method and the steam method.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, let's do that.
Which one are you aiming at? Dust or steam?
Dust, steam.
Steam? Hits.
Right.
Interestingly, wouldn't have hit the dust, but it did hit the steam.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So that is 6 piercing damage.
Nice.
And
Does
then
it have... No, it doesn't have. Yep, takes that. Takes that, the steam.
brilliant. And then it explodes. They both make dex saves.
Dex saves. Steam is on the shiny dice. Steam gets an 18 plus whatever its dex is, 0.
Yep.
And the other one gets a 16 plus 2, so 18 as well.
Okay. They both kind of dodge it, but it's 5 cold damage in an explosion.
5 cold damage.
So even if it dodges, it still takes damage.
Still takes half. It's an explosion, one way or t'other. So 5, so down to 2, unfortunately. But yeah, still good. Yes, very nice. And your
And-
little flame boy, go again.
Bonus action for elemental.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going to happen, but just go with it, okay? The elemental is going to approach Arthur and kind of enlarge as it opens its wings out and wraps him.
We didn't agree on this. This wasn't any plan.
This wasn't in the plan.
I feel like Arthur's like holding all of his orifices closed. Like, no,
No, this
you're not
is-
getting in my face.
This ability does require a willing creature. So is Arthur willing?
Ereq,
Consent
are you
is
sure
important.
we Get burnt alive.
No, but go with it.
That's not convincing.
Yes, great.
It's your friend or them, so why not?
Okay.
This is a long conversation we've had in the 6
Yes.
seconds you've been doing this.
It's okay, we were prepared.
Yeah.
It's like I can think of England.
Fiery teleportation. The spirit and each willing creature of my choice within 5 feet of it teleport up to 15 feet to unoccupied space I can see. So that's going to be
Nice.
towards the back of the pack. Then each creature within 5 feet of that space makes a dex save or takes 1d6 plus 2 fire damage.
I'm not going to bother because the only thing that's near it is immune to fire.
Okay, well now I know.
It's smoke method and it's immune.
But importantly, it puts Arthur at the
Arthur.
back of the line,
Okay. Near
or
the
15 feet.
what's is it the Magman or the
Is it moving him towards the Magmin? Or
You described it as a line, so
yeah, but there's gaps in the line.
okay.
So the smoke method and Arthur, then probably about 20 feet behind them were the dust method and the steam method, and then about 30-40 feet behind them are the 2 Magmins, one of whom is now dead.
Okay.
Is
It's
it-
only 15 feet. So
Does it move him slightly further away from the steam and the dust?
I think it would be further away from the group.
Yeah, cool. All right. So he's now 15 feet directly away from the smoke method. I'm going to say in that line, you're going to the ahead of them.
ahead? Okay, cool.
That makes sense. Good idea. Nice. You're no longer in base-to-base contact. Not for long, though, because it's about to be their turn. Javier is going to get a turn. He is going to use his... what's it called? He's going to use Toll the Dead. Which is a cantrip. And they're going to make a wisdom save. He's going to use it on the dust method. He gets 5 damage if it doesn't save. It gets an 11. Ooh, what's its wisdom on the dust method? It has 0 wisdom. It fails. It takes 5 damage. Because it's hurt. Yeah. So it's down 5. All right. Cool. And now it is the Magma Mephits first, or the Magmin rather. The sole remaining Magmin is going to dash towards Ereq, and it's now it's next to you, Ereq. It's right up in your grill. It's up in your George Foreman. But it had to use its action to do that, so it's standing right there. The Mephits, on the other hand, I just rolled for pairs, for groups rather, so it's the Magmins and then the Mephits. The Mephits are going to go. The Smoke One is going to follow up on the whole Arthur business and proceed to go up to him, and Smoke Mephit is going to attack you, actually. He's going to use his action to...
Oh, what did he do to deserve that?
Immediately after the teleportation, Arthur would have just turned around and started flipping them the bird.
In which case, it actually watches you get teleported away, and then it hisses at you and gestures with a sort of nasty, pointy claw, and it casts Ember Storm on you.
Oh no!
Ooh, maybe you should have made it.
Because nobody else is standing in a cluster, you and the elemental will do. Everything on it, so a downpour of white-hot embers that affects a 20-foot radius sphere centered upon... it has to be on itself, in which case it moves up to base contact with you. And all creatures caught in the storm must make a dex save, please.
Alrighty. Saving throw. Ooh, 20.
Nice. You do not take the full, you just take half. And you take 3d6 fire damage. Which is 8 all up. So you take 4. And you're raging. I don't think that matters, does it? For you, no. You're not a resistant to elemental stuff. Ereq, does your little wildfire buddy have hit points?
Yep.
Is it immune to fire damage?
Yep.
There you go then. That's fine. All right. So the only thing that gets hurt by it is you, Arthur, and probably not very much. But there we go.
To kill the cute companion this early in the campaign.
Dead set. Absolutely. I wasn't trying to. I just wondered if I had managed to hurt it at all. But yeah, no. You take 4 fire damage from that. That could have been a lot worse. And then the dust mephit and the steam mephit. What the steam mephit is going to target Kesh. Because you shot its buddy and it didn't like that. It is actually going to exhale a 15-foot cone of scalding steam at you, Kesh. Please make a dexterity saving throw, which you are quite good at, so it's probably fine.
Don't jinx me. 17.
Yeah, you make it. So you take half the damage, which is 1d8, which is still 8, so you take 4. Fire damage.
There go my temporary hit points.
There you go, boom. Oh yeah, that's right. So Arthur's already burned his as well. And then it is the Dust one. Dusty Boy. Dusty Boy is going to go up to... He's going to swoop towards Javier, I think, actually, and is going to do Blinding Breath. It exhales a cone of blinding dust. So Javier has to make a dex save, which he will do now. Dex save. 20. Nice.
Oh,
That's a nat 20. He has no pluses.
Nice work, not here, Javier.
Thank you. I am doing very well here. Javier can see extremely well. Yes. So he is not blinded. Oh. That's irritating. Never mind. All right. Right. Then it's Javier's turn, and now there is a thing right up in front of him. Now,
I feel like he should kill it.
In fact, chat. What do you think Javier should do? We will skip ahead to Kesh while chat gives me a couple of suggestions about what Javier would do. Would he cantrip? Would he use... He does actually have, like, melee attacks. He has a mace.
I hit it with a mace.
Stare at them until they
Thoughts.
become friends.
Thoughts.
Stare at them until they become friends. That one hasn't failed yet.
It has, repeatedly. But yes, Kesh, what do you do?
I'm just gonna... Well, this one's right in front of me now, isn't it?
There is... The steam one isn't right in front of you. It breathed... it's about 10
sorry.
feet away from you.
Right. So I can still shoot it. I don't have to hit it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna shoot it again.
Do you have 2 short swords?
I do, yes.
Yeah, it might actually be more effective to melee it.
Oh, yes.
Because you can attack twice with the bonus action.
Yes. Excellent. I shall rush forward and hit it with my sword.
Very well. That being said, you do know... Well, you've noticed in the fight that these explode when they kill them sometimes.
You said that after I rolled the dice, Josh.
Well, you rolled a 9, so you missed anyway, so don't worry about killing it.
Well, I'll
Great
just hit it with the
strategic
other one.
choice. Great use of strategy, Chief.
All of you can shut up. Well, I think I just missed again. 12.
Ooh, steam method. No hits.
Yay! I rolled 2 damage, so 6 damage in total.
Nope. That's 6 damage that it hadn't already taken. It's not resistant to that damage, weirdly enough. So
Can I try and intimidate it?
You can try. Make an intimidation check. What do you do and say?
As I hit it, I'll just be like, waft off.
Make an intimidation check. See how this goes.
It's okay. If we just breathe it in, it'll go away.
It's weirdly,
That's what you deserve for that.
it's not particularly intimidated. It's got to say, it hisses at you.
I tried, okay?
Omi reckons Javier should smash, so that's what we're going to do.
I agree with Omi. Omi's
yeah.
a wise person.
Yeah, Omi is a smart being. Mace, we smash. 18 on the dice, 22 to hit. And this is against the dust method that's all up in his face. So he's going to smash it.
Send it back to the dust from whence
For
it came.
5 damage. It is... Ooh, how many did it have? Javier swings down with his mace. It glows slightly with radiant fire and bursts this dust method. He's got to now make a con save, which he is actually quite good at, or he'll be blinded. Got a 10. Oh, he failed. Yeah, Javier is now blinded by dust, but he did kill the dust method. Alright. Kesh, we've done you. It's now Arthur. There's a guy right up in front of you, and he just exploded himself a bit. It was very unpleasant.
So the smoke method's in front of me. How far away is the steam method that Kesh is fighting?
Off at an angle, maybe 25 feet.
Okay, cool. I'll use my bonus action to do a wing flap and launch myself above the smoke elemental and catch like the smoke to glide towards the steam method and just whack it with a hammer.
Sure. What bonus action are you doing?
Wing flap. It's a Gallus one.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. I'm with you. Yeah, cool. All right, splendid. Yeah, so you, you do that. So you go to smack about the steam method. Make an attack. Obviously. But make a reckless attack. An 11. Or a 10.
It ain't my day.
An 11 actually hits.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Just.
Nice.
That'll be 8 points of bludgeoning, 10 with rage damage.
So, how do you do this? What does this look like?
I just fully fling myself into this thing, like it's gonna be an attack, it just hits, so it's just the full body, like, cannonball into the thing.
Yeah, you do that. As
Does it
you
explode?
It does explode. Please make me a dexterity save, both of you, because you're both standing next to it.
How foolish of me. I crit fail.
Wow. 7. You take the full. Arthur only takes half.
Can I
Harper.
position myself? Since I've landed on
Don't
it,
worry,
can
I rolled a
just, like...
3. So Arthur, you take 1 damage, and Kesh, you take 3.
Oh my! How will
fire
I?
damage
How will I recover from this
From the
blow?
explosion of this method going off.
It's more of a kind of a sad wheeze.
Well, it's because it was crushed to the floor and then sort of stomped about on by an angry goose. So a lot of the explosion was directed downwards. And you can see, you see Arthur roaring, and down his gullet is like loads of teeth pointing backwards. Don't know if you've ever looked at a picture of a goose screaming. It's fucking terrifying.
I'm googling this right now.
Yeah, it's very upsetting. It's penguins have a similar mouth as well. Very scary things. All right, Arthur, that was very well done. It is dead now. And it's Ereq.
There's a magma next to me.
Yeah. Oh my. Yes.
Okay.
It's wounded as well. You know this because
Yep.
you're the one that wounded
I
it.
did it. I am going to my talon, which has kind of remains of frost on it, is the frost is going to change color and turn acidic, and then I'm going to use the cantrip Primal Savagery to claw at this magma with acid damage.
Nice. Primal Savagery 22. Look, just beats its AC. I'm going to be honest. For 8. Yeah, you do. It explodes.
What?
It explodes. And yeah, look. Make a dex save, please.
Okay.
It's a reasonable amount of damage. You take 7 fire damage, Ereq,
Take 7.
as you slash through it and basically sort of sever it, and it just goes like it bursts. And yeah, as the fire clears, you're just standing there, and you've got a couple of feathers sort of rather singed by all of this.
Oh,
Yeah, upsetting.
thank,
They've got teeth
Thanks.
on their tongues.
Like, what the hell?
What even is that?
What god would create this?
Damn, nature, you scary. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, you were talking about how Ereq is a badass.
Ereq is a bit of a badass, and that was very cool. Next, the only one left standing is this smoke method.
Oh, well, okay.
Unless you want to do something else. Sorry, Ereq. Yeah,
I
go
was
for
going
it.
to say Fire Spirit has
Oh.
a go, but knows that
It
this
can't
really
hurt it.
So, in fact, what it's going to do is come over and start to bother it. So, it is going to give the help action to the
Ereq?
next person attacking it.
Sure. In melee, presumably.
Yeah.
Right. Splendid. In which case, it is now the Mephit's turn. It's still pretty fixated on Arthur. So it's got
The
another
spirit is
thing
going to try to
do.
get directly in front of its eyes to get between
Right.
it and Arthur. There you go.
Right, okay. Yeah. So, can't recharge that, so it doesn't matter. Right, yeah. You and Arthur are standing next to each other, Kesh. That was silly of you. It is going to come over and exhale sooty breath at you.
Oh, that's
So
just not nice.
takes a nasty, you can see it breathing in as it it moves toward you with menace as well, and it seems to obviously inhale, its nostrils flare, and it actually swells up a little bit, and then it leans forward, and this gust of soot and ash with little sparks of flame in them pour out of its nostrils. Please make a dexterity save, both of you.
Major, did it seem like properly angry to you?
11?
Neither
think we
of you
pissed
made
it
it.
off.
Yeah, you may have pissed it off. This one is quite a powerful one as well. That's why I was the leader. This does 2d8 fire damage on a failed save. I rolled a pair of 3s, so 6 fire damage each. And
Okay,
it's
that one's
now
done a bit. Ow, ow.
it's now Javier's turn, and Javier is a giant deer man and blind. So Javier is going to make his Constitution save to see if he can't see again. A 13 clears his eyes, actually.
He shakes it off nice and
At the
quick.
end of each, can repeat each of his turns, ending the effect on a success. Yeah. He manages to clear his eyes, and then he is going to charge with his antlers at this thing.
Yeah.
Antler gore. Yeah, he is going to dash at it, and yeah.
Can you gore elemental? I suppose we're about to find out.
Well, he appears to be trying to. He gets an 18 to hit, which is plenty. Doing.
You can
Ooh.
probably pop one and make it explode.
Like a balloon
Yeah.
full of smoke.
Yeah. He cops it for 6 antler damage, which is I think bludgeoning.
Piercing?
Might be piercing. Yeah. But I can't remember exactly the rules on it, but I feel like it's going to be pushed backwards from that if it doesn't make a strength save, which it duly makes. So it basically just cops the hit. But yeah, it takes 6 damage from being gored. Nicely done. Down to so many there. And next we go to top of the round, Kesh. You are not in base-to-base contact with this thing. It is probably 10, 15 feet away from you. 15 feet away from you, really.
Awesome. I shoot it in the face.
Do you want to maneuver so you're not standing in a direct line between it and Arthur so it can't cop you both with its flame breath?
Yes, I'm going to reposition, back up a little bit,
Yep. Shoot
and
it!
shoot it in the face.
Shoot it in the face! Come on,
And then
Kesh.
shoot it with a dirty 20 of accuracy.
Filthy 20. Yes, you smack it good. Make me the damage.
That is 11 points of damage.
Wow, you were rolling well for the damage.
I really
yeah. It doesn't enjoy that at all. This damage, yeah. Where would you be aiming for on it? You aiming still?
I'm probably aiming like center of mass.
Mm-hmm.
Because that feels like the most logical
Yeah.
thing to do to a.
It actually, the arrow sort of almost passes through it and just sort of sits in it. The point is actually sticking out the back of it, and it just sort of, but it seems to be, the arrow seems to be wafting around inside of it.
Well, that's not upsetting at all.
Doesn't look like it enjoys the experience though. Look, it hisses
I'm
and looks
not
at you
enjoying
like.
watching it, frankly.
Arthur, it's your turn.
I'll run up and smack it with my hammer.
All right, please make a hammer attack. Bring the hammer down.
Recklessly as always.
Oh no, you don't need a reckless because you have advantage because of help.
Yes, you
Oh,
do,
cool.
Hey,
which is sensible.
Hey.
Ooh,
you don't have to
another
be reckless.
filthy 20
Yay!
for 8 damage. You know what, Arthur?
That's
How
right.
do you do this?
It's gonna be like a full
And make a
charge,
dex save.
but like but the
You win, but it's about to blow up in your face.
Well, actually, it's a con save. I do apologize. It's a con save.
concept. It's gonna be like an upward strike to shove him down the gully a little bit, and it pushes
yeah.
him back 5 feet as well. That could be outside my range.
Does it? Does it actually?
Yeah, I've got the crusher ability.
Oh, cool. In which
Oh.
case, that's very useful. Then don't bother making a con save. It's everything within 5 feet. Or take.
That's a nifty trick, man.
It's 1d4 fire damage and poison for 1 minute if you fail the con save. But you probably would have been all right.
What about the fire spirit?
The fire spirit. That's interesting. Is the fire spirit bothering it? No, the fire. Yeah, he would. The fire spirit would be hovering around Arthur, I think. So it's also outside of the range. I will say. Congratulations, good job, well done. You defeated the Mephits. Well done. You're all standing, panting in the gully, and yeah, there's several scorch marks on the ground. Javier looks up at you guys and says, "That was the first time I have ever hit someone with my beautiful antlers."
It was amazing. I loved it.
Thank you. It was amazing.
I like to imagine Cash looks like, you know, like in the cartoon where it blows up in their face and like their fur is all standing on end, but they just look slightly windswept. That's Cash right now. She's a bit sooty and a bit windswept. She's like, well, good work, everyone. anyone need some healing?
I was going to ask the same thing.
Because I got some good berries I whipped up if anyone needs a couple.
Does anyone need any more healing than a few good berries can provide?
I mean, I could do with a bit, but I'm alright, really.
Okay.
How many?
Nessa,
How many?
how much damage did people take?
Yeah.
I'm 3 down, so 3 good berries would be good for me.
Did you
Don't
lose
fight.
more than your temporaries?
Yeah.
I'm down to 23 out of 32.
I'm down
Otherwise,
38 out of 45.
how
Like,
long
he's
is
not
a
taking
short
any injury.
rest?
10 minutes, half an hour, something like that.
Is there a rush for us to approach? Perhaps we can kind of rest and gather our breath.
Yeah, Cash,
Catch
you
our
would know
breath.
that there's at least a 45-minute journey back to the village, and they were not going directly. They were on a route, so they're not probably due back for at least another couple of hours.
I think we've got an hour, a couple hours before they notice that they're not coming back. So yes, if we need to take a moment to strap ourselves up, that's probably not a bad idea.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
sounds good.
And I think, guys, we'll leave it there. Solid work, everybody. Well done. Good combat. Madame and Monsieur, Dame und Herren, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with us this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure having you all there in chat. So what we're going to do now, what I'm going to do now is continue sitting in this chair and press the fan art back on again because it was freaking cool. So we're just going to pop that back up, and we're going to talk about our favorite moments. Because it's what we do at the end of every show, and we really enjoy doing it. But Clown, thank you so much for the follow. I only just noticed it, but thank you very much. Very appreciated. Also, excellent
That'd be
stream
a
name.
great limerick.
Yes. Karen's going to whip you up a nice little Butt Clan lyric. That'll be fun.
And DM, just so we know, we did get a correction for next time with Ice Knife. Ice Knife doesn't do any damage on a success. On a successful save.
Oh,
So,
apologies. Oh, never mind.
Thank you, Thamio, for catching that for next time.
Yes, thank you, Thamio. We will be aware of that for next time. Yeah. Cool. Excellent. We will sort out who heals who and for how much and so forth during our next session. But now we're going to talk our favorite moments. We do this at the end of every stream. It's something we inherited from the dreaded GM because being an artist and being creative is actually really quite a difficult thing and often quite a lonely road. So when you're doing it in company, it's nice to have other people tell you how good you are. So no, that's all right, Thamio. Thank you for picking up on it. We do like to get things right, rules as written, and all that such and what and so forth. Thamio, also, as you should be aware, your winnings are on the way. We are very excited to send them to you. Yes. So, let's talk favourite moments. Who would like to go first with their own favourite moments? And chat, if you had any particular favourite moments, please put them up for each of us. We'd love to hear what you think we did really well as well, because being creative, obviously, as I said, can be quite difficult. So, who wants to go first? Karen, do you have a favourite self moment?
I like that Javier was very stoic tonight.
Kept his trap shut. I actually, if I can go first, if you guys want, I can do a favorite me moment because I actually quite enjoyed being Javier.
To the camera.
Yeah, I think I did quite a good job of mimicking Josh Towns' body language and the way he plays Javier. I didn't want to do it too much because I don't want to, Javier is still quite a young character. We don't know a huge amount about him yet. I wouldn't shy away from trying to play Jude, but
we'll have to get him to watch the VOD and grade your performance out of 10.
Absolutely, yeah. But I tried not to make any major decisions for him.
It was very clear when you were playing him, when you're... Okay,
Do the
Josh
lips.
is being Javier. Josh wants to talk to us in character.
Hello, yes. Yeah, that was what I think I did well. Who else thinks I did well?
Yeah, I like the happier as well.
I think that was good.
I think you did stuff great. I'm just racking my brain to remember what.
I also quite liked the. I've used this trick before, and the keen watchers would notice that I did it on Monday with the other Humblewood group. As you're traveling, something interesting happens to each group. I wanted actually on record. I wrote this one first. I expected this group to get significantly further last week, so I actually had it planned already. You guys got it first, and then I copied the idea for the other group because I actually really liked it. Rather than having just a meaningless encounter or something on the travel to spice the travel up a little bit, I give something characterful and interesting for each character to do, and it inspires roleplay and things like that. And I really like that. It's my latest self-taught D&D trick thing, being a DM trick. It's a neat idea. I quite like it because if you really want to eat up half an hour, just give your players a box that produces beans occasionally, and they will just riff on that for hours.
I'm feeling a little attacked over the box of the beans. Thank you very much.
It was great.
We were very restrained.
We freaking loved it.
I was going to say I did like the moment of kind of quiet reflection with the fire elemental by the campfire.
Yeah.
That was a nice little moment that I liked.
Yeah. That was going to be, when I introduced it, if you hadn't already gotten it out, I was going to just have it happen there. So the audience can be like, oh, he's got a thing in his face. But now we know, and you could actually build the rapport with it a little bit, and that was really nice. Yeah. Cool. Omi has a favorite group moment. Ereq asking Afra and Kesh why they became bandits, and then being like, well, there wasn't really any other career path to choose from at the time. And I think it's a valid point. And this is the sort of part of the story of the Humblewood is an ongoing tale of social iniquity and social imbalance that is, it's coming to a head now in this world as well.
Cool. Having Jonah Littlefoot in there as well.
Yeah.
Like bringing that in from the backstory of another character in the other campaign, and like giving us some lore with that, and kind of letting us react to that is really cool.
I did enjoy establishing that this is someone with whom you do not wish to fight. Just making sure you Muppets don't go running off up the hill to tangle with Jonah Littlefoot.
Thank you very much, Weepbell. Yes, well, I think the accents, consistency is very good as well in the accent department. The fun thing about Jonah Littlefoot, and I need to get around to putting them all up on YouTube, Jonah Littlefoot was the guy who hired the group in our one-shot, in the Humblewood one-shot, on the International Talk Like a Pirate Day charity stream. He was, that is Jude's big brother. And the Arethusa was the boat they all went on. But we are ahead of that canonically in time. That is the boat arriving to pick up the crew who went and did sloppy crime. And yeah, so that's fun to work that in. And I was just like, that's neat. And I think Arthur's got like railway, used to work on the tracks, has done a bunch of odd menial labor jobs, but when they all dried up, he became a bandit. That's sort of my vibe on Arthur.
Yeah. You picked that up very well.
Cool. Alrighty, well that's enough about how great I am. Let's talk about other people. Because I think I would like to talk about Brendan and Ereq, because I want to shout out, first of all, your elemental comes out of your face, and what do you do with it? Go. One-on-one, so solo role-playing with this animate fire. And that was really lovely. Really, it was quite a tender moment. It's really nice seeing you like, I really like this thing that lives in my face. And your reaction to Javier's question, I really liked I love having an NPC to ask that sort of question, like, can you feel it? That was fun because I was like, I don't know, I want to know. Can you do? Yeah, that was really cool. I love putting people on the spot.
Yeah, that was an interesting moment because I'm like, I don't know. Do I? Mechanically, am I? I don't. And we still have a lot of questions that I think maybe you and I need to chat about the mechanics of how this thing works, because we're playing a little fast and loose with the rules a bit.
Yeah.
But that was a really nice moment of reflection, and of bonding with the thing as well. which we are going to name at some point.
Yeah.
I have an idea in my head, but
Ooh.
I am happy to kind of throw this out to chat if anyone has any
Ooh.
guesses or particularly strong inclinations.
Neat ideas. Yeah.
Can't guarantee that I would take it. I do have my heart set on something, but we'll see.
I loved you sending it in combat to bother.
Bother. Yeah.
Not go and flame in its face or anything. Just go bother it.
I'm putting.
Well, I don't. It can only do fire things. This thing is definitely immune to fire.
Yeah.
Oh, bother works.
I am putting in chat the name of the elemental you met under the grove as well, so that everybody knows how it's spelt.
Right.
That was Mrwenshi. Cool. And it's actually, she pronounced it Mrwenshi. Like the M was sort of swallowed. Yeah. Nikolai, what do you think Brenda did good?
There was like, it was a very small moment, but like when Ereq decided to walk at the back of the group with Arthur, and it was because like he sort of felt comfortable with him after the outbursts the night before, and like kind of because Ereq is like seems like a really nice good person, and we have kind of colored pasts, and just like his like genuine curiosity as to like why we became bandits and like what we would do if they left and that kind of thing was like, it's really cool because it's like the two different worlds kind of meeting, you know. And it's
and the more naive, the more innocent one is seeing it, but doing a really good job of seeing it without judgment.
Yeah.
Which is it's seeing it with kindness, and I think that's really cool, and it's very, very much who Ereq seems to be for me. And I love early campaign with really good role players, because finding out who these people are and what I'm doing, I let my level best to do is giving you opportunities to explore these characters so that we can, as a group, learn about them. Is really neat. Cool.
Yeah, I really liked that moment too. That was probably my favorite moment of me, was prompting that conversation. And I don't know if it was clear, but Ereq was kind of embarrassed afterwards. He felt like an idiot having asked that and prompted that. But it was a really interesting moment.
I do enjoy kind of just Arthur and Kesh just being like, look, we didn't grow up and we're like, yeah, let's do some crime. They were like, well, not much else to do. Guess we'll do crime.
Guess we'll do crime.
Like, what's fun about it is, because there's one other person who's a player in the world, who's Rachel. Rachel's character, Trish, who is a good friend of Kesh, when asked why she became a bandit, Trish's response was boredom. She really took to banditry and, well, thieving originally. She was a thief before she became a bandit coalition member. Because she was bored. She wanted to have a bit of an excitement, a bit of an adventure, and that played into her skill set. She's a rogue, not a ranger. But when we first encountered Kesh was doing a heist and asked Trish if Trish wanted to come along. And Trish, who had recently hooked up with the other party, went, "No, I'm good." And as it turns out, it would have been great if Trish had gone along, because Kesh got caught because she wasn't able to pull the job off solo, and they eventually managed to convince the town magistrate to release Kesh to their custody, and then sort of lost track of her along the way to taking her to prison in Alderheart.
Where did she go? What happened?
Yeah. And she paid them back later on. Yeah. Backstory. Cool.
Hello,
Alrighty.
puppy.
Stream Papa.
This is Siri getting bored because we've been on stream for nearly 3 hours.
You
and
have
she's
not
being neglected.
You have not interacted with me at all in a very long time. I'm telling everybody who you are. Cool. Alrighty, let's talk about Karen.
I really enjoyed the malarkey with the cache of bandit stuff. And just be like, oh, I'm not going to point it out. And then I was like, it's over there. I'm like, dude. I was like,
Don't be a dick. Yeah.
he's like really moral. He might have an issue with us just hiding caches and weapons in the woods.
It's interesting that Cash has that perspective.
She doesn't hold with this all religion malarkey.
Well,
And she's not
Eric's
100% sure if you're entirely approving of her
lifestyle choices. Yeah.
She's sensing subtle disapproval, but that may just be her projecting.
I would have loved to see what Javier did in that
Yeah.
situation as well. I would have been fascinated to see how he reacted.
I can
and
imagine Javier blowing the whole thing up and saying, "What, this case? What?"
Or just happily taking a few things out of it. Like, would not have been iffy about it at all, was my thinking. That's how I think he'd be, but there we go.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed Ereq. Have we done... Sorry, Arthur. Have we done Arthur yet?
No, we haven't got to Alpha yet.
No, okay, I'll hold on to that one then. Never mind.
Yeah.
Keep that one in my back pocket.
Yeah. Favorite Kesh moment. And chat, if you've got any favorite moments, please throw them up.
My failed intimidation.
Yeah, the intimidation was great. I quite liked saying... I really like moments where Kesh is the leader and makes a leader call and saying, I'll go ahead, you chuckle buff and stay here. And Ereq offering to come with and saying, she's like, you hang back, buddy. It's not that I don't trust you, it's that I know I'm really good at this. Yeah, but the wheat belt, the cartoon exploded face moment was great. Yes,
That's what I've got written down.
yeah. Oh, sorry, stolen by chat. Yeah,
I mean, going back to that conversation about the bandits, I really liked Kesh's explanation of that. I felt like it humanized her, animalized her,
personalized her.
Personalized her. Yeah, I thought that was a really nice moment and really genuine. It could have been rebuffed. And she just kind of went with it and said, well, yeah, this is why. And that was really cool.
And I really like that I gave you the backstory about, like, there could have been altruistic motives for it, and neither of you went with the, oh, no, I did it because I'm a good person. But because you both stayed in the Wildwood Brigade, it does speak to the fact that you when given the opportunity, you took the path of good. Yeah.
Actually, there was that further on from that conversation, the moment of, well, what would you do if the brigade broke off from the Older Heart? And Kesh really, well, you both did, but Kesh particularly seemed really stumped by that.
Yeah. That was cool.
I can't speak for Arthur, obviously, but I feel like Kesh is kind of a take it a day at a time sort of person.
Yeah.
So, like, this is what I have to do today, and we'll worry about tomorrow when we get there.
And clearly doesn't have a lot of time for the council. Like, these idiots, like, we're working for them because it's a good idea right now, and we've got shared goals and shared motives, but yeah, there's not a lot of trust, I think.
She doesn't
Cool.
appreciate their machinations.
Well, no. All right, well, let's talk about Arthur then. What did...
Arthur putting the stuff into the cache because I'd given him the javelins.
That was cute, yes.
It was
Take
lovely.
a penny, leave a penny.
Yeah. I would also actually say, thinking back a moment, Kesh going, look what I found leaning against this tree. Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, Arthur, the take a penny, leave a penny moment was lovely. I quite liked the description of you running like a goose would run, like flapping your wings as well as running on your feet, to stay ahead of these things. Technically speaking, Mephits can move 50 feet.
Oh, no.
A couple of them, like the Smoke Mephit, has a 50-foot move. So yeah, it's Smoke Mephit was a boss. I found it online. It's not actually. I don't think it's canon. But I was like, ooh, that's cool. It's not in every place. Like most of them would be on Roll20 and D&D Beyond. It's not on Roll20. I was like, oh, interesting. Yeah, it's got a couple of very cool effects though. Yeah.
The obvious moment for me, Arthur moment for me, the first one that came to mind was the volunteering to be the bait to lure the elementals into the ambush. But then I thought about the moment of Ereq trying to find the cache and failing, and him just kind of giving a friendly nudge to be like, "Hey, it's over here, man."
Yeah.
Felt very,
cute.
very kind.
Not on the tree.
Yeah. I think this is what we're finding more and more about Arthur, is that he's a good guy. Just don't get him drunk.
Bad to the bone.
Yeah.
Or make him do a sexy leg out from behind.
Can I say that whole time I was picturing a Bugs Bunny-esque,
Yes.
like,
Yes,
Exactly
yes.
what
Yeah.
I was picturing.
Yeah.
like dressed as a smoke method with sexy lipstick and a
Yeah. Yes, in some way managed to make himself look vaguely like a sexy smoke method.
Amazing. I've had
sexy
some great
smoke
moments.
methods in the chat.
His reaction to like being teleported as well. It's like,
Oh, yes,
yes.
actually, dead set favorite moment was oh no, is this, what's going on? And it was more of a, like, I also really like the consent, like the looking for the consent, rather than presuming that as an ally he won't object. Yeah, that was very cool. I was like, yeah, this is more than 6 seconds, but fuck it.
So close to not being willing.
Yeah, and that would have been bad for you.
I mean, you can still force him to do it, right? It's just a save.
No.
Oh,
It's
wow, they can't.
Willing
Doesn't work.
allies go. And
Ah,
if they don't go, then anything left will
gets
take the
caught in the
damage.
flyer. Yeah,
Yeah.
Remind me to discuss what you did next session.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? I'm thinking, well, Ereq doesn't know what this thing can do. So I don't think Ereq can articulate what
How
it's
that
about to
works.
do because he hasn't seen it before.
Did he know, like, yeah.
I think that was the elemental.
Yeah, right. He was like, hey, go help. And it was like, yep, sure, I got this. Yeah. And you're like, okay, it's coming to help. Not sure how it's going to help, but it's going to help. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry. Keep your orifices closed. All right.
I actually like that. It kind of gives the Phoenix like more of its own autonomy, or like it seems like its own kind of thing rather than just like a tool.
I really need to thoroughly read the rules for the Wild Fire Spirit. Because I've played one, but I only played it at level 2, so I don't really know what it does. And I didn't play it for very long. The DM had several deaths in the family, like, stack. And we were like, let's stop for a while, and you can sort that shit out. And we never got back to it, unfortunately. Alrighty. Well, Nikolai, have you given us your own favorite self moment?
I think mine would, for Alpha, would be putting the sling back in the stash. Because I think like after the conversation that we had about like why we were bandits, and then Alpha like briefly mentioned that it was sort of like became a family of sorts.
Yeah.
It's like there's some loyalty there. Like even if it's like non-Wildwood Brigade bandits that find it, they were still the crew once upon a time.
Yeah, and he's still got mates. Arthur would definitely have mates who didn't take the offer.
Oh yeah.
Who didn't stay in the brigade. Cool. Alrighty. Well, peeps, my friends, my ladies and gentlemen and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us this evening. It's been a genuine pleasure having you there in chat. Thank you to Serum for his amazing work behind the scenes, helping us get the channel all set up, and Karen for all of her love and support, because this channel wouldn't have happened without the two of them. Now, if you've enjoyed, please chuck us a follow and check out our socials. If you chuck us a follow tonight, Karen will write you a sexy limerick. I'll probably have to wind up helping because we've had a lot of people take us up on it, which is really cool.
You guys really like limericks. I did actually write the first one.
Oh, whip it out.
If you guys want like a little, if any of you watching
Teaser.
haven't followed yet and you would
Teaser.
like some enticement, this is for Havnan. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but that's the rhyme scheme I've gone with, Havnan. So that's how it's pronounced now. There once was a chap called Havnan, who was Oh no, sorry, have none.
Have none. There you go.
I can't read my own terrible handwriting. Okay, have none, because that's how it's spelled. There once was a chap called Havnon who was in the mood for a scone. But all out of cream, he let out a scream, for tea had to wait for a non.
There you go. There you are, have none. Well done. Congratulations. Alarin has just followed as well. Thank you, Alarin612. I'm here at the end, but I love Humblewood. Alarin, we love Humblewood as well. Check out Humblewood over on Roll for Damage on Monday nights and also here on Thursday nights. I will be in the next week or two getting round to putting all of the episodes you may have missed up on YouTube. So follow us, stick around, and we will put the YouTube links up soon so that you can, in fact, I'll pop it. Actually, I haven't got it programmed in yet. I've got a dog sitting on my arm, so I can't. Yeah, we will pop them up soon. So thank you very much for the follow, Alarin. Right, guys. If you want to... where am I? Yeah, come back next Thursday evening for more Humblewood of Monsters and Magic. Head over to Roll for Damage on Monday nights for Phlox and Fire. More Humblewood content. Also next week in a couple of weeks' time on Roll for Damage, we have the Avatar Legends game run by Rhythm in the Mind. That one happened on Wednesday, and it will be happening again in 2 weeks' time. And then after that, 2 weeks after that, it will be coming here to Corsair's Cove for a final 3-week run here, which is very exciting. Featuring D-Rab, the Axel Bevington themselves, AJ Winters of Winter's Tales, and Matt Brown from Split the Party, which is really fun for us. So, guys, tell me who the heck you are and where we can find you, and then we will go on a raid. So, Karen, tell us who you are and where we can find you.
I am Karen Schlink, performer, writer, art slut. You can find me over on Twitter as the Mother of Bunnies. You can also follow my Bella Sculptor ego, Miss Lola Moore, on Instagram. Miss Lola Moore will be performing in the wonderful rural town of Geraldton on the 30th of October for the Perth Bellas Festival Roadshow. So if you are in Geraldton or you know someone who lives in Geraldton, send them down on the 30th. It's gonna be a fun show. We got some good talent coming down. And I discovered today that the Kalgoorlie show on the roadshow, which I am sadly not a part of, but if you do live in Kalgoorlie, the Kalgoorlie Pride Party and the roadshow for the Perth Bellas Festival on the same night. So after party. Anyway, yeah. I'm not involved, but if you live in Kalgoorlie, that's a cool double night thing that's going to be happening.
Unfortunately, Samuel lives in the Netherlands, so cannot come.
Yeah, bit of a check for you, Samuel. Well, we built loads of crackhead in Geraldton, so
splendid. We might actually.
We
might actually stay with somebody else. Though. That's all right. Thanks very much.
I hear there's a very nice hotel. But yes, I'm blathering on. You can also check out the podcast There Be Dragons, where all good podcasts are found, where I'll be playing at Ryland Westfall. And I think that is everything I had to say. Thanks so much for watching, guys. It's been fun. See you next week.
Marvelous. Nikolai, tell me about it.
Hi, I'm Nikolai. I am a D&D player that sort of like rotates between Corsair's Cove and Roll for Damage. You can follow me at Twitter at Cossack Nico. Once I actually get my ass into gear and finish all my uni assignments, I will do a second part of my noir detective 2-shot. So I will shout that out on Twitter when that happens.
Very well.
Still got my notes.
Yeah.
From not 10 nights.
I need to find mine. I
Brendan,
remember Zombie Shibari, and that's it.
Yeah, Zombage. Exclamation mark Zombage is in chat. We do have that command over here as well. Brendan, tell me about yourself before the Zombage comes out.
Oh no, the Zombage. I'm
Nat
Brendan.
1, Nikolai.
I do not have an online presence, so do not Google me. Do not write wiki articles about me. A wink. You can find me at LARP. I'm LARPing this weekend, so if you'll be there, then come find me and don't shank me, please. Otherwise, I'll see you next week.
Marvelous. Please don't shank him. I need him back next week. And Madame and Monsieur, Dama und Herren, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I have been Josh the Pirate. I am a Perth-based performer and creative. You can find my creative talents over on Roll for Damage on Monday nights, where I DM the Humblewood over there, as well as here on Corsair's Cove on Thursday nights. I also program One Shot Wednesdays, and I need to poach Nikolai back to bring him back for his two-shot. Other than that, I am part of the Paparotica. I am one half of Paparotica, which is a comedy puppet duo which performs sexy puppet shows at Fringe, and we will be back this coming January for more sexy puppet silliness. And if you like the majestic voice, but you think I could stand to tone the face down a bit, you can find my vocal stylings also on the There Be Dragons podcast. We're a 5e D&D podcast in a fantasy gunpowder setting where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Skern Felspar and his little dragon, Rosh. So guys, I'm just going to make sure quickly that Carney Sideshow are still going.
They are
Oh,
indeed.
they're chaos in the time loop. Excellent.
Ooh.
Well, we shall go and raid them for the second half of this, because I think we raided them last week as well for a similar thing. So let us go to the creator dashboard, and then we go to raid the channel. So guys, we're going to go away and raid Carney Sideshow now. Drop all the love on them, throw up your favorite raid emotes in chat, and tell them where you came from, and spread the love as we love to do. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.